Previously on the Adventure Zone. My name is Angus MacDonald, but I am the world's greatest detective, he says.
I roll my eyes.
Okay. I have reason to believe that the serial killer, the Rockport Slayer, is somewhere aboard this train. You hear a high-pitched shriek. Lying on the floor, you see a body wearing robes. It has been beheaded. Both of its hands are missing, and it has a shimmering rainbow bow tie.
No, we never appreciated him while he was alive.
Suddenly, a figure starts to take shape on the ceiling. The three of you follow Angus into the passenger car. You feel a burst of hot air. The door behind you just blasts open. That fiery crab monster lurches through.
I cast Levitate on the crab.
Nice.
Okay.
I'm going to step up and phantom fist it out a window.
He gets pushed out the window. He gets scraped up against the side of the tunnel and train. He's not outside of the car for very long when you see another burst of flame, and he sort of rocket propels himself back into the train about 2 cars
Now,
down.
hold on. Now.
Can our heroes solve the greatest mystery of all? Love? Also murder? Let's find out in the Adventure Zone!
So you just knocked this crab out the window and grinded it down a little bit, and it rocketed itself back into the car, a couple cars down, and you are running towards it.
Yes.
I did my part. I'm going to chill here.
Okay, so Taco taps out.
What? Wait, hold on.
Sitting down and chilling.
The three of you start your pursuit of the two. Are you really chilling?
I'm chilling. I'm almost dead. I'm going to chill here. I did the whole thing.
Don't worry. Everything's going to be
I did the whole
okay.
thing with the floating
Trust
crab.
your party.
Okay.
Great.
So Taco's just going to kick it, I guess. So the rest of this fight is just going to be the Merle and Magnus show.
No, he's just sitting down for right now.
Fine, I'll come. I limp behind them, blood gushing from my robes. It's very pitiful.
Okay. The three of you, one of you who is gooshing, begin your pursuit. As you open up the passenger car door into the space where you found the corpse, you don't find the corpse because this entire room has been basically incinerated. The walls, the floor, the ceiling, everything is sort of smoky and black. And the only thing on the floor is a pile of black ash. Where the body of Jenkins used to lay. The drink
First
cart,
Barry Blue Jeans, and now Jenkins.
the drink cart in the corner is sort of melted down a little bit.
Not the drink cart!
This time they've gone too far.
The crab dies.
Crab is done for.
Is this from the fire shooting out of the crab ass?
Yeah, the initial burst of flame that you shut the door to avoid. As you push on through this darkened chamber, you begin to make your way through the sleeper car. You open up the door in this chamber to the sleeper car. The sleeping chambers are all lined up to your right. You're in a very narrow hallway. And as you make it about halfway through this car, the door on the other end also gets sort of shattered by this crab that is now floating through the air, but still sort of flailing its 4 powerful claws
Is it
around.
kind of cute?
It's kind of adorable. Yeah, sure.
I'm angry crab. He seems to say.
Hey, just for effect, have it crawling along the side wall. That would look cool.
No, it's just sort of floating impotently through the air, just sort of waving its claws around. And we are back up to the top of the order, which is Merle. The three of you are about halfway between the doors in this car, and about 15 feet in front of you is the crab monster who is floating through the air.
All right.
He is bloodied, by the way. He is beyond past half health.
All right. I take out my Warhammer.
You don't have it?
No.
Just to see a reaction.
Well, there it is. You
I'm
don't
just
have it.
kidding. I'm kidding. No, I'll cast
Pretty good,
Healing Word.
Pretty good punk, Nick Cannon.
I'm casting Healing Word on...
The crab.
On Taco.
Oh, I see.
On Taco. And that's 2d4 plus 5.
Are you doing healing word or healing touch?
Healing Word.
Okay.
I have Cure Wounds. That's 1d8 plus 5.
It's up to you, homie.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with what I said. I'm
Okay.
gonna go with Healing Word. It's 2d4 plus 5. And so the first one was a 3.
Pretty good.
And the second one's a 3.
Really good.
So that's 6 plus 5. That cures him for 11. Heals him for 11.
Yeah.
Woo!
Does
And he
that
springs to his feet and starts, like, punching the air.
And then I reach out and I drop my Extreme Teen Bible and I say, peace out.
okay? It falls through the floor and is destroyed by
No!
the train's wheels. It's a very heavy Bible, both in terms of weight and subject
I
matter.
can't lose that. So.
Next in the order is the crab, who stabs 2 of its claws into the ceiling, stabs 1 claw into either wall, piercing into one of the sleeping chambers. It points its mouth at you, and you see its rows of teeth begin to spin and glow. And then from his pulsating orange mouth, a column of flame bursts down the car at all 3 of you. So go ahead and make dexterity saving throws to see if you get out of the way of this column.
So he casts fire out of his ass and his mouth?
This is his mouth.
I rolled a 19.
Okay.
20.
Wow.
16.
16. Okay, all 3 of you simultaneously, I guess, leap to the right through the door of one of the sleeping chambers, very narrowly avoiding this hallway-sized column of flame that shoots down and incinerates basically the carpet below your feet. That
was nice carpet, too, remember? Remember how nice
Yeah,
it was?
we
nice
talked about how
shag
nice it was
carpet.
shag.
Yeah.
so yeah,
Guys, that was our first moment of competence.
Nice.
I hope
Holy
y'all remember
crap.
High fives all around.
And we missed.
that. We missed the high five.
Ow, right in the face.
okay, that is it for the crab's turn. He is still sort of wedged in between he's still sort of positioned himself between the wall and the ceiling to prevent the recoil from sending him rocketing backward down the train. I really love that this fucking crab is floating now. It completely changes this fight in my mind.
I'm glad you've embraced it.
Yep. Next in the order is Taco. The 3 of you are now sort of squirreled away in, we'll say it's your sleeper chamber, next to your triple bunk beds where you just dove in to avoid the spout of flame.
Is there any other furniture in the room? Is there anything else in the room besides the bunk beds?
There is a small sort of tea table and 2 wooden chairs next to it.
Any cutlery from, a snack we might have had earlier?
There's a spoon on the table.
Yeah, there's a teaspoon and a teacup and a teapot and a sugar bowl with some sugar in it.
Are any of those things shaped like a knife or an axe or a club?
The spoon, it could be shaped like a club if you were a very small person with a big imagination.
There is no life I know.
Taco. Taco,
Still fighting.
Taco, take the wheel.
Taco, take the wheel.
I'm casting Mel's acid arrow.
MILF?
Mel's? Hi, I'm Mel, and this is my favorite acid arrow.
I hope you enjoy my acid arrow, kids.
And don't tell me to kiss your grits.
Okay.
Is that a reference to
What
something?
on the
or-
earth?
Alice.
You're appealing to a demographic
that doesn't exist in the world.
That's why I'm here.
To talk to ghosts?
Mel's acid arrow.
Move towards the mic. Second of all, is this a spell that was created by a man named Mel?
No.
Or a woman named Mel?
Melf. It's Mel B's scary acid arrow. Mel B's scary spice acid arrow. A shimmering green arrow streaks towards the target and bursts with a spray of acid. Make a ranged attack against this target. On a hit, the target takes 4d4 acid damage immediately and 2d4 acid damage at the end of its next turn.
Wow.
Scary Spice was the most dangerous of all the spice.
I mean, that's obviously not debatable.
Right.
Sporty, I don't know, actually.
I was always most terrified by Baby, but I think that's just because of, like, weird issues. I don't know.
Okay, I'm making a ranged attack.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, sorry.
Are you poking your head out of the? Are you moving back into the hallway, or are you just sort of
sticking my umbrella out the door and blast?
I fucking love it.
Holy crap, he didn't make that up. That's a real spell.
Thank you.
Okay, so you're just poking your arm out the window.
My head. I mean, I'm poking my head out.
Okay, you're leaning out of the car to blast.
He's holding a mirror up out the door.
Go ahead and make a ranged attack.
What do I do? What is that? How do I do that?
You just roll a d20 and add your spellcasting modifier to it.
11.
11 total?
Yeah.
That doesn't do it.
Okay. So on a miss,
So their armor does not decrease when they take damage, right?
No. Are you talking about the crab monster or what?
The crab monster, I guess its shell, I would think it was cracked and wouldn't take as much damage.
okay, so I'm going to do 2d4.
On a miss?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Splashes them with that.
Does it say half damage? Because if that's the case, you actually roll 44 and divide in half.
Okay. 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2,
8.
8.
4.
So it takes 4 damage. Okay, you shoot it. It just sort of falls to the ground right below it, and some of the acid splashes up onto the crab monster, and it takes 4 acid damage. You hear it sizzle away, and it actually smells weirdly delicious.
That's what I say. See if you've got a melted butter spell.
Yeah, it would have to be clarified, though.
Okay. A melted butter spell where it melts butter. How's that for clarification?
Nice.
Wow, that was good. Thank you. What a rib tickler. It's a thinker, and it tickled my ribs.
It works on a lot of different levels.
Magnus.
So that into Dad Jokes Weekly.
Yeah.
I grab one of the chairs from the room.
Good.
Okay.
And I run up to the crab and two-handed clobber it.
All right, we're going to have to come up with some numbers for chair. It's going to be blunt damage, obviously.
Yep.
There's a metal chair.
No, I
remember you saying that
specifically said it was a wooden chair. Wowzers. Crap. Okay, so this is a heavy wooden chair. Let me... Hold on.
Hey, can it be one of those lazy boys that's such a...
Yeah, I have the lazy boy over my head.
We'll say this has the same characteristics of a club. I think that's fair. I'll say 1d6, but because you're so skilled in carpentry, I imagine that you've had to attack somebody with a chair before. So you definitely have expertise on this. That's not debatable. And you also are just really good at hitting shit with chairs made out of wood. So I'm going to say 1d8. You have expertise with it. And I'm going to give you a point of inspiration. A, for making a makeshift weapon, and B, for picking a makeshift weapon that is so completely within your wheelhouse.
Thank you. Well, if I have expertise with it, then I rolled a 17 plus 6, so that's 23.
Okay.
And then I roll a d8.
D8, yeah.
And I rolled a 4. If I have expertise, it's plus 6, so I hit it for 10.
Okay. You hit it for 10 damage. Loosing it from the wall and ceiling where it had perched itself. So it's now sort of just floating aimlessly backward down the
it's still alive?
hallway. Yes, but it is very, very, very bad off.
It is almost impossible to get rid of crabs. Have you noticed that?
Oh, man.
They're bringing the heat.
You are really on some next level shit right now, Daddy. You hear the door.
What happens to the chair in my hand? Does it remain whole?
Oh no, sorry, it explodes. It shatters in your hand. You broke this shit off, and it's ass. The door to the passenger car behind you slides open, and you see an imposing, almost square figure filling the doorway. And this figure runs at full speed towards Magnus's position, towards the crab. And as this figure moves forward, you make it out as Jess the Beheader, who sprints towards the crab at lightning speed, does this sort of like Ong Bak jump off one wall and then another, and then sort of cannonball flies at this crab. And then in midair, you see the shape of her axe just appear in her hands, and she brings it down on this floating fire crab.
And she misses.
She literally crit. That's not a fakey fake bullshit thing. I'll FaceTime you the dice, but she crit. She crit on this crab. There's a 5% chance that she was going to crit, and it happened.
A crab crit.
Crab crit.
Pan-
Sorry, the whole show for this.
Pan is good. Thank you for the crit. She
rolls dice until she gets what she wants.
She does 29 damage, cutting the crab into 2 pieces.
And Magnus raises his hand and says, I did 29 damage punching out on a window. It's not that big a deal, guys, all right? We all do 29 points of damage.
And as its 2 composite halves float through the air, both pieces of its corpse turn to ash and fall to the ground.
Them's get eaten. I say, hey, great timing.
And Magnus says, I had it.
She says, sorry, I had a pretty bad initiative roll.
Sorry, I was pooping. It took me a while to get to where you were.
She said, to be fair, it looked like you guys had it handled, but I thought I could help out any way I could.
Let's just let Dad get it out of the system. I guess we're the kings now. Is your
King crab?
okay?
We were in a bit of a pinch.
Right.
It was kind of a crusty crab.
Okay.
Well, that's
That's
not
you just said the name of a thing.
Yeah, that's not very good.
No, it was a lowercase c.
We did a clawsome job.
These are all great, she says.
Okay, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, we don't want to be shellfish.
Oh!
Well, come on, guys. We're crustacean time.
I'm sorry, did you just say we're crustacean
Okay.
time?
Yeah, it's like wasting time.
So does this mean we
You
don't
get
get
it.
we don't get experience from this kill?
No, she KS'd you, bro.
No.
She rolled up on that mob you were camping, KS'd it right from under you.
God, it's just like Azeroth.
I mean, I was making some EverQuest references, but
Did you ever play EverQuest, Dad? Let's talk about that.
let's take a moment. Let's just take the next 10 minutes, because I didn't have anything else to talk about before we did the break. And let's talk about Dad's EverQuest experience.
Did you ever play EverQuest, Dad? I don't remember.
I did play EverQuest, yeah. It's all right.
No, you guys actually did get some experience points. I was just goofing. But no loot. There was no loot that came out of it, unless you like crab ash, in which case...
Would you say the experience and like the victory was its own reward?
Yeah, I would say that you feel fulfilled on a deep spiritual level.
I got to use a chair.
Yeah, you used a chair, you punched a thing out a window. It was pretty...
Yeah, we all acknowledged that was really great when you used the chair. Gee, God.
Thank you.
I think I want to find out a little bit more about Jess the Beheader.
I turn to Jess and say, "Hey, that like spiritual axe thing was pretty damn sweet."
Oh, it's not spiritual, it's just soulbound to me. I can just sort of bring it to me whenever I need it.
Can I have it?
Oh, no, absolutely not, because it's not soulbound to you.
Well, could we soulbound? Like, is it like we blood brother kind of thing where like we cut our palms, shake hands, and then I can use it too?
She says, listen, as the world heavyweight champion of the WWE, I know my way around some good chair usage, and that was
What's that stand for again?
the Mid-World Wrestling Federation.
Spelled without the F.
Yeah, and without the M.
Well, there was a lawsuit. It's very, very complicated. Anyway, I know good chair usage when I see it, so I do actually want you to have this axe. And she hands the handle.
Oh, my God.
Hands the handle towards you. She says, I just want you to know that I'm just very impressed, she says, and puts the handle in your direction.
Thank you. I take it.
As you take it, it disappears from your hand and reappears in hers. She goes,
We both have a good laugh.
That's one of my favorites, she says.
That was very good. I'm Magnus the Hammer.
But good job reinforcing your image as a panhandler. So
Thank you. Listen, you only get what you ask for in this life, Dad.
She says, what was it? Magnus the Hammer? Or
Magnus the Hammer.
Okay. Is the Hammer your last name?
No, is the Beheader your last name?
Legally, yes. I got it changed to
Then
fit
me
my brand.
too.
actually, Magnus is his stage name. His real name is Diddley.
Listen, guys, we just blasted a giant crab. I think we're past the point of fake names.
I don't think so.
I do.
Who's
Magnus is
running
making a
this
unilateral
heist?
decision.
I just want to say, when I was writing this mystery chapter, how certain I was that the three of you were not going to be capable of introducing yourselves to the characters I was creating. And you have fulfilled that prophecy just with flying colors. She says, do you guys have any idea where that thing came from?
The beach?
It was on the ceiling. I think it came from the ceiling.
Yeah, well, let me ask you a question. Can we shoot straight?
Yeah.
Why are you on the train? Do you have like a weird, crazy reason for being on the train? Are you
Everybody else has.
Are you just like all on the train? Nobody's like just all on this train. Are you on the train?
I'm on the train, yeah. I'm doing a hype tour for my upcoming match, my upcoming fight. And I'm going to Neverwinter to do a junket, she says.
Who you fighting?
Oh, I'm fighting Greg the leg cutter.
Oh, I've heard about him.
It's supposed to be a pretty good matchup because, like, I swing high, he swings low.
Greg the leg better?
His name is Greg the leg.
Greg.
His name was Greg the bedwetter, but he'd realized that wasn't as good.
And his favorite song was Yellow Ledbetter. But now he's just Greg the leg cutter.
What is red leather, yellow leather?
But no, I have a great reason for being on this train. Why, do you suspect me of something, huh?
No, it's just like everyone has a crazy like we said we were here for. I don't even remember.
It's all gone to hell.
It's all gone to hell. There was a crab, and then Encyclopedia Brown showed up, and he left, and then Jenkins died. That was okay, and then you have this axe. It's magical. It's been a really exhausting day. I'm Justin, I think.
Holy shit. Okay, wait. Excuse me for just 1 second, Jess. I need to talk to my compatriots for just a moment.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to go check out the scene of the crime, see if there's anything I can do to help, she says, and walks back towards the passenger car.
Do that. You guys. What? Jenkins was beheaded. It's there in the name. She's the only one we've seen with an axe so far, and it was a clean beheading.
That's true. But how do we know for sure it was Jenkins?
I don't know that we do. Why else would you remove the head and hands? And the hands were done separately because the cuts were not as clean.
So maybe whoever took the hands didn't take the head? But if you took the hands, then there'd be no fingerprints. And if you took the head, there'd be no dental work, and you couldn't identify who it really was.
Unless there was some sort of magic, but who's ever heard of such a thing? Oh, wait a minute, it's D&D. This isn't CSI, Papa. We don't need we're not going to send it to the lab. What are you talking about?
Let me tell you something. If we send it to the lab, we'll be lab rats.
He just
No, that's not good.
That doesn't even work because
he literally removed his glasses for an audience of me.
That's fine, but this isn't like a fucking Redwall RPG. You're not rats.
If we were rats. Okay, wait. Is it too late to retcon that we're all rats or ratcon?
Yeah, this is a Redwall RPG. And
Okay. Whew. Now do the joke. Dad, do the joke now.
I'm not in the mood anymore now.
See, Griffin, you ruined
nor
it.
I. Yeah, I'm the one who ruined that.
It's not a dancing rat.
I don't get that one.
All right. We're in Nim. Okay.
So the only people we've ever encountered on this train are Jess, Jenkins.
God, I hope you've been taking notes.
Yeah, Jess, Jenkins, Angus.
Graham the Juicy Wizard.
And the conductor, or the engineer.
Who we haven't seen hide nor hair of.
And so if someone killed Jenkins, or someone killed someone, it's one of those 5 or someone we haven't seen before.
Yeah, I'd say that's right.
So it's either one of those 5 people or someone on the planet.
Well, it's not Angus.
Is it me?
It might be Taco. Has anyone kept an eye on Taco the whole time?
I'm literally asking. I have spells.
I think the thing that we need to do is interrogate the only other person that was at the scene of the crime. We need to talk to Juicy Wizard.
We do. We need to squeeze the Juicy Wizard.
There it is.
There's a joke. There's a joke that works.
That was a joke.
I'm done. I haven't got anything else. I'm just going to sit back here.
You're throwing a lot of spaghetti at the wall, but like our listeners can't choose what spaghetti to eat. They're eating all the spaghetti that is thrown, and some of it has floor dirt on it.
Griffin, you're getting pretty saucy.
Ha 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 ha! It's linguine.
I'm in hell. Hey everybody, this is Griffin McElroy, your Dungeon Master. Although I have never taken this campaign into a dungeon yet, so I'm starting to think that maybe a new title would be appropriate. Anyway, thank you for listening to The Adventure Zone, episode 14. This episode of The Adventure Zone is sponsored by NatureBox. NatureBox is a remote provider of delicious, healthy snacks that are all made with 0 artificial flavors, colors, or sweeteners, 0 grams trans fats, and no high fructose corn syrup. You don't need that fructose, that's a chemical, and most chemicals are poison. Next time you're hungry, imagine this. Close your eyes, and imagine this on your tongue and in your mouth. Jalapeno white cheddar popcorn, pistachio power clusters, Big Island pineapple, dark cocoa nom-noms, blueberry Greek yogurt pretzels. Their shit is popping off at NatureBox, and you can join the NatureBox experience for free if you go to naturebox.com/adventure. They're going to send you a free trial box of their favorite snacks. Again, that is naturebox.com/adventure. Go get your mouth fed. Go get your tummy happy. The Adventure Zone is also supported this week in part by Plaid Hat Games, which is a producer of fun and engaging board games. They have created titles like Spectre Ops, which is a stealth action game where one player plays a spy infiltrating a facility while all the other players are spy hunters who are trying to track them down and kill them before they can complete their objective. They have other really cool games too, like Dead of Winter, which is a psychological survivor game set after this wintry apocalypse. There's also a game called Mice and Mystics, which they actually sent me, and I haven't played yet, but I'm very excited to because you play as fantasy mice, which is weird considering what we just talked about on the show. Their games look super cool, super duper nerdy, which I'm real into, and you can find them all at plaidhatgames.com. Thank you to everybody who has been tweeting about and sharing the show on Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn and Friendster. We really appreciate it. As always, if you tweet the show with the Zonecast hashtag, there's a chance that you might end up as a character in the campaign. We haven't added a new one yet and probably won't until we get through this chunk of the adventure, which we're a little bit over halfway through. God, I hope you guys like murder mysteries. And thank you to everybody who has reviewed the show on iTunes. We have a lot of really positive reviews on there, and that really helps us out. If you haven't taken the time to do that, we sure would appreciate it if you could get on iTunes and give us a rating. If you haven't listened to the other shows on the Maximum Fun Network, you totally should do that because they're all free and they're all totally fantastic. And I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that there's going to be at least one other show on the network that is going to appeal to you. Maybe it's going to be Judge John Hodgman. Maybe it's going to be Lady to Lady. Maybe it's going to be Wham Bam Pow. Maybe it's going to be one of the other shows that we do, like My Brother and Me, Bunker Buddies, and Sawbones. Whatever your flavor craving is, you can satiate it at MaximumFun.org. Also, if you want to send a personal message to somebody using me as your conduit through this show, you can go to MaximumFun.org/Jumbotron, and there you'll be able to find out how you can give us a little bit of cash, and we will help distribute your message, get it out there, whatever that message may be. That's it for my commercial shilling for this week. Our next episode's up on May 21st, so we will see you then. Let the investigation begin. I want y'all to get NCIS on this shit.
I think we should talk to Graham.
I smack Graham in the face and say, "Wake up!"
Okay, you're suddenly in the passenger car. You slap Graham in the face. He is laid out on one of the benches on the right side of the passenger car. In the passenger car is Angus, who is looking all around that chamber in between the cars where the murder took place. Or I should say where the corpse was found. You don't know whether or not the murder actually took place there. And Jess, the beheader, who is just sort of chilling. I don't know what she's doing. Oh, listen, I'm controlling like 6 human minds at once in this thing.
You're remarkable, Griffin.
I'm pretty amazing. I basically have 6 normal brains, or maybe one brain that's 6 times the size of a normal person's brain.
I need to ask a question.
Yep.
Is this the big parlor scene where the detective figures it out and unveils the secret?
Well, only time will tell, Dad.
Okay, then let me ask another question. Are we agreed that we're doing away with the whole ruse that we're these other people?
We can't make that decision out of character. If we're going to make that decision, we have to talk about it.
All right, lads.
Oh, fuck.
Are we giving up the fake identities?
Yes.
1,000 times yes.
Good. Then I cast Zone of Truth.
How many zones of truth did you fucking prepare? Were you like, good morning, everybody, give me like 30 minutes to stock up on all my truth zones?
It failed, and you said we rested and got everything back.
Okay, so you're busting out you're just like a Zone of Truth cleric. With no,
I don't bring
no
a lot
healing
to the table.
No fiery beams of purifying, sanctified light required. I just make people tell the truth.
Well, yeah. Simplifies things.
Before I wake up Graham, is he still passed out? Is he still out?
No. He has a cool compress on his forehead, and he's lying there. He's white as a sheet, and he is trembling. He looks a little green around the gills.
I still smack him.
Okay, you smack him as hard as you can, and he says,
"No, I didn't say as hard as I can. I smack him 20%."
Okay, just 20%. That's
20%.
That's hard enough to kill some things.
Okay, 5%.
Okay, 5%. You shatter all
with
the
my
teeth
left hand. With my left
your
hand.
left hand. Okay, well then he takes the slap at 5% force and sits up and goes, "What are you doing, man? I was awake."
No, you need to wake up.
I was awake. I was conscious.
No, I mean metaphorically, wake up.
To what? That hurt a lot.
Well, it'll hurt a lot worse.
Getting real.
It'll hurt a lot worse if you lied to me.
Okay. Am you interrogating me? What's going on?
Listen,
it seems like it.
I'm sorry about my partner. He can come on a little strong.
I walk to the back and cross my arms and start fuming.
We're doing bad adventurer, good adventurer.
Help me out here.
But there's 3 of you, so is one of you just a neutral adventurer?
It's good adventure, bad adventure reading a book.
Okay.
Listen, help me out. This guy's a loose cannon. Give me something to work with here. What did you see in the car? We found you with a corpse that looks kind of like Jenkins. What did you see? What happened?
It was Jenkins. I was sitting here in the passenger car. I decided that I wanted to go and see if I could take a round on the pleasure chamber, and so I walked back. And when I opened the door to the sleeper car, I saw a corpse I saw a body on the ground without a. He faints.
I step back up. I smack him. This time 6.5%.
Whoa! That smack hurt 1.5% more than the last one. What are you doing to me?
You don't get out of this by passing out, Juicy.
Statistically, I mean, not to quibble, but if it was 6.5%, it would hurt a little over 20% more than the one before it, because the one preceded it had been 5.
Well, I took an educated guess at what 100% of his smack would feel like, and so
okay, that made sense to me. Okay.
Want a cup of coffee? Can I get you a little something?
That would be great, except the drink cart just got obliterated, so I don't know how you're going to do that. I keep slipping into Angus.
I look at Graham and I say, when you saw the body, did it have hands?
No, there were no hands. It had been beheaded and behanded.
And you had been in the passenger car.
I was in the passenger car. Yeah, I was in here with...
For how long?
For about 20 minutes or so. I was in here with Jess. She was in here too when I walked back to check out to go to the pleasure chamber, and
we heard a shriek. Was that you, Graham?
I don't remember shriek. I have a pretty gravelly, mature, masculine voice, so I don't think.
Why don't you use it?
This is it.
Hey, listen, I couldn't find any coffee, but they had these little Andes mints. You know, those little chocolate mints? Here, have a couple of those and just answer the nice men.
Wait, are we doing good cop, bad cop, mom cop?
Okay. Thanks, Mom, he says, and takes them and unwraps them.
That's really good, because now he's safe from Dementors, too.
He says,
let him finish.
Or did that come from the X-Lax box?
Oh, God. Let me think.
Yeah, it was the X-Lax box. You better hurry.
So now that I'm on a pretty tight schedule...
So wait, good cop, bad cop, diarrhea cop? Is that what we're doing?
The last time I saw Jenkins was... it was just a few minutes before I found him. He came up and did a drink service up here. He went to the front of the train and then brought us back drinks, and then went back towards the back of the train, and then I went back there a few minutes later to see if he could take me to Pleasure Town.
This next part's extremely important.
Go.
When he was doing the drink service, did you notice him setting aside any drinks, or anybody taking extra drinks they might have been putting aside for later? Are there somewhere on the train we can find some drinks?
I don't think so.
Think about it carefully. You didn't even think.
This is really important. Just help him out.
The drink card is gone.
He's got the shakes pretty bad.
Already
Taco needs his medicine.
Daddy needs his special magic juice. No, but what were we saying, Jenkins?
Jess, can you corroborate this story? Like, you were here the whole time, right?
Jess looks back at you. She says, "Yeah, I was here the whole time. And he was here too. I saw him shriek and then fall down like some sort of small child. And the door shut behind him. I got to be honest, I didn't think anything of it. I thought maybe he was having a conniption or something."
Jess, you didn't kill Jenkins, did you? I'd only ask as the beheader, you know.
The what?
Be thorough. The beheader, Jess the beheader.
No, that's like that's a thing I do for work. I don't... Do you go... Sorry, what's your job?
Wait, you didn't...
No, before I insult you, I need to know what your job is.
Me?
Yeah.
Bodyguard. Oh, no, we're not doing that anymore.
I'm Justin. Taco?
Mm-hmm.
You are impossible to talk to, and this is the worst conversation I've ever done.
I'm a shitty wizard. I just want to know if you killed Jenkins or not, right?
Of course I didn't.
Okay.
Do you adventure on your free time? No. I only behead people when I need to, or when I'm being paid to do it for entertainment.
To be fair, living is the greatest adventure.
I guess.
Jess and Graham are each other's alibis. We were with Angus. So that only leaves the...
how long was the body back there?
Graham says, I saw Jenkins just a few minutes before I found him. Okay. So whenever it happened, must have been in that period of time.
Hey, did you get into the pleasure chamber, or were you going to go get access?
He says, no, when I was on my way there, I saw a dead body that was decapitated. It had its hands...
And that was not your pleasure request.
Hands cut. No, he falls down again. He's fainted.
I smack him 7.2%.
Okay, you hear something pop. And he goes,
I meant 6.8. I meant 6. I smack him with the other hand and pop it back into place.
I cast Cure Wounds and fix his broken jaw.
okay, do you have to roll to do that?
God, yes. Gee, many God.
Hey, listen. I only have the one setting, and it's 7.2.
All right. I roll it's a D8. Da, 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 da.
Oh, man, why didn't we cast Cure Wounds on Jenkins?
Because his head was cut off.
Well, you would have had to roll really well. Don't get me wrong.
D8 plus 5. Oh, I rolled an 8.
Oh,
And
your
plus
best
5, 13.
your best healing yet, and it's on the jaw that Travis just broke. Okay, you see Graham's jaw magically set back into place, and both of his cheekbones are starting to turn a deep purple.
Okay, and I grab the front of Magnus's shirt and I say, "Come on, man! Come on, we're not getting anywhere with this approach." Was that good? Was that good?
That was really good. And Graham says, "Oh, yeah, that feels way better, thank you." Oh.
Wait, did it heal him into a mouthful of marshmallows?
What are you talking about? I sound totally normal.
Oh, God, this is his normal voice. Break his jaw again. Can somebody... Okay, Travis.
Yeah.
Recap.
I can tell you everything again. One more time.
Okay.
No,
here's,
No more from
Quiet,
you.
mushmouth.
here's what we're looking at.
Okay.
In the passenger car, we had Jess and Graham together. In the sleeper car, we three and Angus were together. Jenkins entered the passenger car, offered drinks.
He went in the conductor car, too, to bring him drinks.
He went where?
He went in the conductor car to
He went in
bring
the
him
conductor car.
to bring him drinks.
And when he came out of the conductor car, did he seem different in any way?
Yeah, his head was gone. No, I'm just kidding. He was fine.
Okay, let's go to the conductor car. Walk, 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 walk.
Wait a minute.
Oh God! Do all of you have a lead foot?
We're jumping.
we are
We're
at the
jumping down the
conductor
car.
Okay. You hop like little bunnies to the conductor car, or the front of the passenger car, and the space between that and the engine car. It's not a conductor, by the way. It's an engineer. I don't know why I keep saying conductor. Keep getting my train jobs confused. The high security door into the engine car is sealed shut.
I knock, shave, and a haircut.
Okay. There it is. And you hear the voice of, God, what did I say his name was? Hudson.
Wow.
Hudson?
Hudson. Yeah.
Hudson.
Hudson.
Because I was trying to make a Hudson Hawk joke and I couldn't get to it.
Yeah.
I was trying to make an Ernie Hudson joke and I couldn't get to it.
And I was just trying to play D&D with my family.
You hear the engineer's voice come from a small cone above the door, sort of megaphone system. You hear him go, "Hello, is everything going okay back there? Everything's going... Yeah, we're having a pretty smooth trip. We should be there in about an hour or so,
Great, Jenkins is dead.
Jenkins is dead?
Yeah.
He was the one with the bow tie. Don't feel bad. I forgot too.
Bow tie?
Jenkins was a dedicated employee of the...
Now he's just a dead
It's a
employee.
dead employee.
We all got there.
Goofs about this, huh? It doesn't seem like the right time or place for that.
Listen, we just need to know, is there anyone else on the train?
No, I can show you the manifest, but I don't think I should come out of here, especially now. I can't open up the engine car to whoever did this heinous crime.
So it was just you, Angus, Jess, Graham, the three of us, and Jenkins.
Yeah, that's it. That's everybody on the manifest.
John Boy, Elizabeth, Jim Bob.
I don't know what you're talking... None of those... No, it's just us. Just the people that you named.
Listen, we need access to the caboose. We have to get to our secure item.
You can go in the caboose whenever you want. You just can't... You can't get in the safe.
I think we need our weapons is what we need.
Weapons.
I can't do that. I have no guarantee that it's not the three of you that didn't kill our poor Jenkins.
We promise it wasn't.
How is Jenkins killed? Tell me. I need to know.
He was beheaded.
And then beheaded.
And then burned up.
It seems to me like the person on the train that goes by the name the beheader might know something about
No,
that.
we asked.
We asked. She
And what? She just said, no, it wasn't me. And y'all were like, cool.
I mean, she like, what? Yeah.
She has a corroborating witness for her alibi.
Well, and there was a magic spell cast on her, so.
Why don't you open the door and
I'm not opening this door. There's no way. We can talk about this when we get to Neverwinter when the authorities can be
Here's
involved.
what we're going to do. You keep this door secure.
Deal. I like that part of it so far.
Okay.
It's going very
The six
good.
of us are going to move from here to the caboose.
Okay.
We're going to search every car till we get to the caboose.
Okay.
And if we get to the back and there's anything wrong,
we're jumping off.
We're going to need
Well, don't
access
do that,
to our
'cause
secure item.
You'll be killed. Sorry, what?
Oh.
What was the last thing you said?
If we get to the back and anything's amiss, anything's wrong, we're going to need access to our secure item. It can't.
It's
fall
going to take
into
me
the
and
wrong hands.
the crypt safe takes 1 hour of sustained contact from me, the engineer of this train, to open. So by the time I get it open for you, we'll be in Neverwinter, and the authorities can handle this themselves.
Sounds great.
Okay, but we need our weapons.
I can't do that. I'm sorry.
Can't you? Is it can't or won't?
Can't you?
In order to give you your weapons, I'll have to leave this car, and that's not happening. Because you know why?
Don't you want to be a conductor?
I want to be a. Well, first of all, I'm an engineer.
But don't you want to be a conductor? Isn't that your dream? Look
No,
at your heart.
engineer is on a way higher pay grade than a
Yeah, but I mean, it's a lot more responsibility too.
Why don't
you
be? You know what?
that you were stressed out.
You know what I want to be more than anything?
What's that?
Just a guy with a head.
Well, we all want to be that.
Wouldn't you like to be a friend-gineer?
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and shut off this channel. You guys
sounds about
let me
right.
know if you figure out who did this murder, and hopefully...
Hey, can I
Yeah.
say something? Yeah, you didn't take my weapon. See this?
I can't see that. What it
Open the window that may or may not exist.
No.
Yeah, we need to give you some other weapons.
Okay.
I have a weapon here.
I'm starting to feel a little bit threatened, so I'm going to go ahead and go.
You can't. If you go, I'll fuck your train up real bad. It's going to be brutal.
So now I'm starting to feel like...
I cast prestidigitation, and he smells something that smells like dookie.
Oh, sir, I guarantee you it doesn't smell any worse than my own hand.
That's just a sneak preview, baby. There's lots more where that came from.
So you're telling me you're going to stink up this whole train? All of it?
And then burn it down.
Okay.
We need a search.
Okay, have fun, he says, and you hear click.
He called my bluff.
Good one, though. Good try.
All right.
So we have no access to the little pleasure closet without
the
Jenkins.
rod.
There's no way that can be used, right?
You can go check it out.
Oh wait,
That has to be the- we-
classic detective shit. If his rod is missing, right? Whoever killed him took it. So everybody in the room, turn out your pockets.
Okay. Where are you?
We're still in the passenger.
Well, we need to
car.
go back into the car where everybody is.
Yeah, everybody's in the passenger car right now. Angus is in the space where the scene of the crime, just sort of going over everything. Graham is still lying down, still supine, and Jess is just sort of looking out the window.
All right, turn out your pockets.
Jess goes, no. And Graham goes, oh, okay. And Angus does as well. So Angus and Graham out turn their pockets. Graham has some Andes mints in his folds. He doesn't seem to have diarrhea, so that's probably good. He has his own magic wand and a spell book, and that's it. And Angus has his hand crossbow and his book of interception and a toolkit, a detective's toolkit with like a mirror on a stick on it, and a notebook, and a magnifying glass, and a dusting kit, and a grappling hook, and all kinds of
So basically, the whole turn over all your weapons only applied to us.
stuff. What do you mean?
Kid's got a crossbow, and what's her name can summon
A very
axe.
well concealed crossbow, he says.
Hey, listen. I don't know why I didn't think of this before. Is that everybody's pockets? It is, right?
No,
Jess
did not empty
Jess
it.
refused. Let's talk to Angus for a second. Hey, Angus.
Hey, what's up?
You're like a great detective. I don't know why you're letting the babysitters club here. Three of us try to piece.
I've actually been watching you. You've been doing a surprisingly good job, he says.
Thanks for the
I've already figured it out, of course.
Yeah, well, why don't you give us a hint? A hint.
Isn't it more fun if you try and figure it out for yourself? He says.
No.
I was just kidding. I haven't really figured it out yet. I was just putting. Listen, I'm a 10-year-old. I'm a 10-year-old boy.
You're a 10-year-old douche.
Are you the world's greatest detective in comparison to your age? Is it a sliding scale thing?
I'm the best detective in the world. I'm very young, and I'm very I'm very self-conscious about my age. So I guess I put on a front. I'm glad that I have somebody to talk to about this. I'm going through a lot of changes right. Oh, okay. Bye. All right, bye.
Jess, turn out your pockets.
No, I'm good. I'm all right. Thank you.
Okay.
Turn out your pockets.
Okay, I do. I've got my grandmother's knife.
A knife.
Bedroll.
It looks like you could probably use a knife to cut off a person's head, huh? Don't you think?
It's like a 2-inch blade.
Yeah, I mean, it would take a while. How can you prove that? Stop. How can you prove that you didn't cut this guy's head off with your grandmother's knife?
It's my grandfather's.
Stop. I'm doing a perception check on Jess.
Okay. What are you trying to perceive?
I'm just looking at her whole thing to see if there's anything that seems out of place, stains, damage, anything like that seems out of order.
Hey, do you want me to cast Zone of Truth?
Hold on.
That would be an investigation check. If you are poring over a specific thing.
Investigation check on Jess.
Yeah. Perception is if you're trying to find something. Investigation is if you're trying to learn something about something you know is already there.
Okay. I got a 12, so it's not great.
No.
I'm not very sleuthy.
Well, with a 12, you see that she doesn't have any blood on her. She has a little bit of crab ash on her from when she halved the beast you were fighting before. But yeah, no blood, no signs of struggle. Her clothes aren't torn or anything. Her armor, I should say.
All right, I guess we're gonna have to frisk her.
Okay, that sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. She says. That's going to be a lot. That's going to be a ton of fun for all four of us. Do you guys like gambling? She says.
Yes.
Sure, yeah.
Let's place bets on how far I can throw each of you. She says.
Are you roided up? That's a little aggressive.
Wait a minute. I cast Detect Magic.
Okay.
If there's any magical items in this room, I will see an aura around them.
Okay, that's fine.
Sound track.
So you pick up on a few things. You pick up on the Book of Interception. You pick up Graham's magic wand. You pick up the faintest hint of a trace of magic on Jess's axe. You pick up your own magical items, of course, yours and Merle's. Yours and Merle's. You pick up Magnus's jumping boots. The rail splitter has some traces of magic on it. You guys have accrued a few magic items at this point. Jess, other than her axe, doesn't have anything.
Okay, guys, she doesn't have anything.
So apparently nobody does in this room.
She's clean, so yeah, the room is clean.
The
rod isn't in here.
Then let's move to the sleeper car. And we'll take a buddy system. My buddy will be Jess.
I'm not coming.
You are.
No, I'm good. I'm going to stay here, and then if I see anybody even remotely threatening, I'm going to cut them in half.
Stay here, I stay here.
Let's split up our jobs. You guys can do your Encyclopedia Brown shit, and I'm going to stay up here, and I'm going to cut anybody in half who steps.
Oh, hey, Merle, leave Scuttlebug here.
Oh, good idea.
Okay. You wind up the Scuttlebug. What is it called?
Scuttlebuddy. I named it Scuttlebuddy.
There's a mosquito in this room, and it's killing me. Wait, did you just send the Scuttlebuddy into my room in real life? You wind up the Scuttlebuddy, a small, it turns towards you and makes a noise. It's recognizing you as its mother. It's
imprinting.
It's imprinting. It's very, very adorable. It turns away from you, and out of its butt, you see a tiny little round nodule pop out of its butt in front of you.
Scuttle, buddy!
And it turns back and goes and starts sort of nudging this little nodule towards you, proud of it.
Pick up its poop.
God, this is the cutest thing ever. Why has nobody done any fan art on Scuttle Buddy?
There was some Scuttle Buddy art.
All right, I pick up the nodule. It's a little sticky.
Scuttle Buddy takes one of its pincer legs and points at the side of its own head and goes.
Well, I take the nodule and I place it in its head.
It says, and it pops it out of its own head, and then it points at you, and then to the side of its own head.
Oh, put it in your ear.
All right, I put it in my ear.
Okay. As you do that, you can hear the things in the room around you, almost like they're being amplified. Like there's a little bit of feedback, like there's a little bit of an echo. And the Scuttle Buddy very discreetly climbs up to the ceiling and wedges itself between the ceiling and a light fixture on the ceiling, and sets up shop there.
Probably would have been better if Jess hadn't seen that.
She didn't.
Jess, if anything happens.
Yeah, you guys got it. And then in your ear, Merle, you hear,
I love you too, Scuttle Buddy. My Scuttle Buddy, my Scuttle Buddy.
Scuttle Buddy will be available in all Toys R Us stores by November 1.
Collect them all. There's 800 Scuttle Buddies. Each one costs $16.
See if you can tell the difference.
You can. They're very, very similar. Before I let you go, I just want to say once again, thanks to Nature Box, where you can order hundreds of great tasting, healthy snacks. Go to Previously on the Adventure Zone. If the object of value that the three of you are trying to claim is somewhere on this train, then I have reason to believe that the Rockport Slayer is somewhere on the train too. You see a shadow through the frosted glass of the sleeper car breeze past. You see a large pool of blood on the outside of the closed door. This body is wearing robes. It has been beheaded. Both of its hands are missing. It has a shimmering rainbow bow tie.
No, we never appreciated him while he was alive.
The cut through the neck is very clean. You hear a deafening roar come from that room. The last time I saw Jenkins was just a few minutes before I found him. He came up and did a drink service up here. You hear the engineer's voice come from a small cone above the door.
Jenkins was a dedicated employee of the...
Now he's just a dead
employee.
I pick up the nodule. It's a little sticky. I put it in my ear. I love you too, Scuttle Buddy.
Put on your thinking cap's gumshoes. It's time to solve a murder in the Adventure Zone.
The three of you are stacked up, SWAT team style, on the door to the cargo car.
Wait, like on each other's shoulders?
No, I mean, there's no, like, you're not sneaking into an R-rated movie. You're about to
Are we
slice...
little rascaling it?
No, you're about to slice the pie with Angus, who has his hand crossbow out. He's got his back up to the wall against the door with the hand on the door, ready to go in. Before you all can breach, Angus turns to the three of you and says, now listen, if we find the culprit in this room, you have to promise me that you'll help me apprehend him. Don't kill him or her, whoever it is.
Ooh, that's a big ask.
We really want to kill him.
Yeah, we only know like 2 things.
Jumping away from fire and killing are the only 2 things we're really good at.
Not
You don't have your weapons, though, so it would
That's
come down
true.
to fisticuffs.
Oh.
Beat a man to death with your bare hands.
I've found that not killing is pretty easy. I go long periods of time without killing anybody.
Keeping the demons at bay.
Hey, listen, we all have droughts, kid. Don't feel bad.
He says, okay,
Cold streaks.
breaching in 3, 2, 1.
Wait.
What? Yep.
Angus,
Yeah.
check your book.
Okay. He pulls out the book of interception that he used to discover your true identities and cracks it open and says, what am I looking for here?
Is there anything since just before we heard the scream that alerted us to the Jenkins murder or anything after? Any information we should have before we move forward?
He flips through the book really quickly. This is not a great time for it. We're about to do some action-packed SWAT shit, but no, I don't see any messages in here. Okay. He says, can I breach?
Yeah. Can I breach?
Yeah. Can I breach, please? Are you all trained for SWAT hand signals? And you know about slicing the pie?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had pie.
3, 2, 1, breach. And he slides the door open.
Can you paint a word picture of how awesome it looks as we breach through?
Yeah, you all, the 4 of you, slice the pie in opposing diagonals into the room. Angus with his weapon drawn. Taco's got his umbrella, which is a little bit less imposing. Merle and Magnus, you are unarmed. But you move into the room. A flock of doves fly in. A flock of doves.
Not Doug's.
Doug.
A flock of doves fly in behind you and then vanish. And it's totally sick. The only problem is that there is nobody in the cargo car. It's completely
except a bunch of dogs now.
There's a few Dougs. No, there are no Dougs. The only thing in the cargo car is the crypt safe, which is firmly built into the floor of the room. Now, the 3 of you, as you move into the room, actually feel nauseous for a brief moment, but that quickly subsides. And one other curious thing happens as you move into the room. Merle, you, up to this point, have been able to sort of overhear the awkward, forced conversation happening between Jess and Graham in the passenger car in the front of the train, thanks to
my Scuttle Buddy.
Your Scuttle Buddy earpiece. Yeah. As soon as you move into this room, that earpiece just shorts out. You are not hearing anything anymore as soon as you move into the room. And
Griffin.
Angus starts overturning the room looking for clues. Yes, Justin.
Can I roll a perception check to see if I notice anything awry about the safe?
Yeah, you're doing an investigation check
Yes.
on the safe to see if anything's wrong with it.
Yeah. I got a 19 plus 0. So yeah, just a 19.
Just a 19? No, the crypt safe seems totally intact. There's it doesn't seem like it has been breached or assaulted in any way.
It's locked still.
Still locked up, yeah.
Did we try the handle? Because sometimes you assume it's locked, and then you try the handle and it opens. You're like, oh.
Yeah, and sometimes the crypt safe does the thing where it unlocks the crypt safe right when you try to pop that handle open, and it's like, God, just wait for a second. Well, I'll go and then you go.
Like jiggling the toilet handle, right?
Just like jiggling the toilet handle. And sometimes you poop on the crypt safe. Griffin, can I roll to see if I figure out what's going on?
Yeah, what roll would that be?
I have a +8 to figuring shit out.
Okay.
It was only a 7, so that's only a 15.
No, you have no idea. Use your brain, not your dice.
But
so
that's not how D&D works.
I was actually thinking about that this past week. Like, if I was, because I'm cosplaying Taco as currently.
Are you wearing a robe?
Currently cosplaying Taco as a stupid man. That may change. He's kind of been going back and forth, but does it like D&D, like meta D&D, like should I be able to figure, like, is that fair if I figure something out? Because that doesn't necessarily make sense in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I've always pictured Taco as more aloof than ignorant.
He knows
so-
more than he lets on.
yeah, but you're not answering the central question here.
If any of you can crack this open, don't fucking sit on the answer. I've just if you know the answer.
No, I don't. I don't think I can crack it open.
He's trying to ask if Justin can figure
Justin
it out.
I'm not saying like
Yeah, if Justin figures it out, let it rip, baby.
a single intelligence point orc. Like, should he be able to figure? Like, does it make sense if I were to figure something out? Like, for that orc to be able to guess it in D&D? Like, does that make sense?
Well, you'd have to make like 19 wrong guesses first.
Shouldn't I be rolling to see if I figure it out? Is what I'm saying.
No.
Okay,
We're just talking.
So
We're just talking. This is just friends talking right now.
This is interesting. You know, this counters sort of what I was thinking, because you know Jenkins' hands were missing, right? And what I was thinking was that the rule of the safe is that you have to have the employee of the Rockport Express have to have their hands on the safe for an hour, and his hands were missing. So I thought, what I had thought was maybe someone had taken his hands so they could put them on the safe. But there are no hands on the safe.
Angus looks up he's dusting for prints on the safe, and he looks up at you and he says, "Yes, I had the same suspicion a while ago. In fact, a really long
Way to catch up.
Like basically from the start, I had that suspicion.
Yeah, right.
The only issue is that it's not just any employee; it has to be the engineer of the train, who's locked away in the engine car.
How do you open the engine car?
You don't. The engineer's the only one that can get in there.
Unless you have the wand.
Unless you have the wand, Jenkins' wand, right? Jenkins' wand would let you go into any area. So that would be the only way if it was pleasure chamber.
You're throwing a lot of spaghetti at the wall. I think there's
sorry, we're trying to just like piece this out, right?
He said, I noticed something very suspicious about this room. And I'm wondering if you can help me confirm my suspicion. Can one
Is
of
this
you
the point when the lightning flashes and when the lights come back up, he's got like an arrow in his heart? I know who the killer is.
Can one of you try and open the rear door, the caboose door for the train, please?
I will go in the caboose.
I already do it. I'm doing it right now.
Okay. You are trying to open up the very rear door of the train, which just leads out of the train.
I do it and it pops right open.
It does not.
I'm pretty sure I imagined it popping open.
It does not. In fact, it seems like it has been fused shut somehow.
I want to roll to punch open the door.
Okay.
Yeah, my whole day's about the door now.
Okay, 19. So that's a 23 versus the door.
You punch this very, very, very sturdy iron door, and it does nothing. It doesn't even make a sound.
I do 1d4.
You don't do any damage.
I do. But it says I push it, and I want to push it back and open
It pushes you back.
In my country.
If it's fused, then we can't unlock it.
Well, thank you, Dad. Yes, but I wanted to punch a door. I got angry.
I know.
Can I want to cast Detect Magic.
Okay. You cast Detect Magic, and your normally when you cast this spell, you can get sort of an idea of the magical items in the room. You can see sort of faint glowing traces around the magical items in the room. You cast this spell, and your vision just goes white. Just goes blinding white, as if like everything is glowing. Everything around you is glowing.
Bad news, compadres. This place is magic as hell.
You're also picking up faint hints of the only spell that you can sort of detect is the spell Ghost Sound, which can sort of produce a sound if to anybody who is nearby. The sound is of the caster's choosing.
Can we see anything out the windows of the train?
There's no windows.
I'd like to cast Locate Object.
Okay. On what?
The magic wand of the transporting closet.
Okay, interesting.
And then if it's within 1,000 feet of me, if it's in motion, I'll know the direction of the motion.
Okay. The rod that opens up the ports or the pleasure chambers that you are trying to detect, you can't pick it up, meaning it is not within 1,000 feet of you.
Okay, I have a theory. This is Travis, not Magnus. I think the ghost sound that we're hearing is the sound, like, to make it seem like the train is moving. And where we are, we've been transported to a fake location that is not the actual crypt safe on the train.
Angus says, if that's correct, then this is a very unsafe room for us to be in. And I recommend that we move back to the dining car.
I agree. Let's do that.
So, Taco, usually when we retreat, you lead the force.
I'm out. Peace and carrots, you guys. I'm out. I'm already out. Look at me. I'm done. Look at the back of the car.
Already there.
The back of the other car. I'm gone. I'm gonzo.
The four of you are in the dining car now. Angus has summoned Jess and Graham to the dining car to fucking crack this thing wide open. That's what he says. It's time to fucking crack this thing wide open.
When we went back through that door, did we get a sense of nausea again?
You did, yeah. As you cross through the threshold of the door, you very briefly feel dizzy and nauseous. But then as you spend more time on that side of the door, it subsides and you're fine.
And when we look back through the open door, we see the crypt and everything else.
Yep, you see the room you were just in.
Okay.
So you move into the dining car, and Angus begins his speech. He actually turns to you guys and says, "Do you guys want to take a stab at this first? I've done this a lot, and it's really exhilarating. And I'd love for one of you to share this, parlor scene experience. If we have any takers."
Okay, so let me think.
I mean, I've already gotten everybody sort of like horny for the solution.
Well, yes, thank you.
Back off. That's the secret. Peek and back off.
So obviously somebody has used the transportation closet to take the magic wand somewhere, because if it's not within
somebody has used the wand
somewhere.
Somebody has used the wand on the door to that crypt, so that we can't actually access the actual room where the crypt is, because they are using Jenkins' hands on the crypt. But now we can't access the actual crypt. Instead, when we walk through the door, we're in a kind of Ocean's 11 fake vault location.
Angus says, that's exactly right. It would confirm my suspicion. Watch this. He walks right back into the cargo car with the crypt safe. And there's a small scrap of paper, a ticket stub, lying on the floor. And he crinkles it up into a ball and throws it at the door. And it seems to just sort of hit an invisible barrier at the door frame and fall to the ground. And he walks back through and says, you can't take an item from one of those pleasure rooms out of the pleasure room. So that room is almost certainly a fake. Good detective work. Whatever your name is.
It's Magnus, but that's not important right now. So whoever...
It usually is.
Angus says, let's talk about the murder itself. I want to hear what you guys found about the method of the murder. How this murder was executed. What was the cause of death for Jenkins?
Beheading?
Behanding?
Yeah, that...
Be burning?
No, the behead. I mean, that one's pretty obvious. If you guys are having trouble, a thing can't live without a head. You guys are keyed into that.
We didn't get CSI out on it. We weren't able to check lividity and time of death and shit. We saw that he didn't have a head and there was blood everywhere. That's the best we can do.
What did you notice anything else strange about the scene of the crime?
His hands were cut off and it was 2 different cuts.
Yes, exactly. What could have possibly... Let's identify, first of all, what could have possibly caused the killing blow? What could have possibly beheaded?
It was Jess's beheading axe.
Well...
No. The crab thing.
You said it was completely clean?
It was a totally clean cut, which would
Is it possible that using that transportation magic, the body was transported differently from the head?
I think you're close. It couldn't have been the axe, because the axe is soulbound to Jess, and Jess has an alibi because she was in the room with Graham.
If the head...
Also, a weapon of that size would have made a tremendous noise, and it would have alerted everybody on the train that the murder was taking place.
If the head was in the pleasure room or in an alternate room, and then the magic was shut off, would that have done it?
I think that's exactly it. And we have a clue that can confirm that. Remember, when we first came to the scene of the crime, there was blood on the outside of the door as well, which makes me think that they turned up a port in that door, stuck poor Jenkins' head through, and then shut off the port. And because the door would have still been open, that would explain the blood on the other side of the door. That's why you can't find the head. There was no sign of a struggle or sound of a struggle in that room, which makes it simple to deduce that the victim was asleep when they were killed. But why the hands? That's the problem I keep coming back to.
The hands are for the safe.
I think that's entirely possible, although, again, Jenkins' hands wouldn't open the safe.
It wasn't Jenkins' hands.
What are you saying?
Jacques!
Oh, my God.
It was the engineer.
What about... Okay, but wait.
Jenkins is the assassin.
Jenkins killed the... Okay, listen. Listen. I have a moment of lucidity and I don't want to waste it. Jenkins killed the engineer, took the head so the body couldn't be identified, switched clothes with him, took the hands off the body, swapped the body with his clothes, and then opened the pleasure chamber into the engineer's room so he could kill him there. Right? So that's how he got in the engineer's room with his wand, with his magical claws.
And then burn up the body to prevent further investigation.
I think you're close. I think that definitely he destroyed the body with the fiery crab to keep us from figuring out that it wasn't Jenkins. I think a much simpler solution...
By the way, classic Jenkins to use a crab instead of using a spell slot.
Jenkins.
Just burn one spell slot, Jenkins.
If we're 100% accurate on this, I think we need to be a lot more respectful of Jenkins' magical potency.
Jenkins
I will sooner die.
I think a much easier method for him to access the engine car is when he took a drink service in there.
Well, I liked mine better, but that's fine.
Well, I'm glad you're contributing, Angus.
I'm also glad the engineer's drinking.
He's still in there, because when we talked to the engineer answered.
The engineer answered through the audio device above the door, which could have easily just been ghost trick, it could be ghost sound, it could be any number of spells.
Cool. So where is Jenkins now?
This is a very curious question. Remember when we were talking in my sleeper car about... I revealed my true identity, and you guys revealed your true identities?
Yeah, we all grew closer as friends.
And Jess says, "What are you talking about?" And Angus says, "Oh, I'm the world's greatest detective." Anyway, you remember, before the murder, before any of this even happened, we were interrupted by the sound of somebody moving past the sleeper car towards the back of the car. If Jess and Graham were in the front of the car, the engineer was already dead.
We'll call him Engineer.
He had a name, and it was Hudson.
Hudson.
Remember all those great Hudson
Hawk.
Remember all those great Hudson Hawk goofs?
I'll never forget them.
If Hudson was already killed, and Jess and Graham were in the front of the car, and the four of us were in my sleeper car, who was that moving towards the back of the car, and where are they?
Is it Jenkins?
Yeah, I mean, yes.
So Jenkins is in the actual final car.
Jenkins is in the real crypt.
All right.
Real room.
I point at Jez and I say, "Summon that soulbound axe. We're gonna hack our way through a wall."
She says, I'm not going to break my axe trying to chop through a train.
It's a soulbound magical axe, you coward.
Yeah, but soulbound shit can break, and then I'll have this shitty.
Soulbound shit can break.
I'll have this shitty broken axe soulbound to me, and I know the de-soul binding procedure is really painful, so I'm not going to go through that.
So he went in the engineer's car for drink service, killed the engineer. use the wand to open up a port from the engineer's car to the safe room, right? To the crypt.
No, use it to open it up to the dining car thing so he could decapitate the body and do all that stuff.
What I'm finding curious, Angus says, is why he didn't just kill the engineer in the engine car, cut off his hands in the engine car, and take his hands to the crypt to the cargo car before
because he had to alleviate suspicion from Jenkins.
I think that's right. He had to. Whenever this job is done, he doesn't want anybody looking for him, and it's a lot easier to escape and start a new life as a corpse than as a criminal.
Well, it's hard to start a new life as a corpse.
I think.
Because you're dead.
I have a theory.
You can't get around. You can't get out a lot.
Hadn't stopped iZombie.
I have a theory. I have a theory for how the corpse found its way into the space between the passenger and the sleeper cars.
Well, somebody probably helped it because it's a corpse. I was just saying, like, when you're a corpse, you can't.
Let's hear your theory, little man.
Does anybody else want to take a stab at it?
Boy, we've had such a good hit rate so far. Maybe the weird crab carried it on its back.
It was on the drink cart.
In the drink cart, Angus says. Eureka!
Shut up! You already knew that answer, Angus. I don't need your pity.
No, I'm very proud of the three of you. You've been much more competent than anybody on Earth would have ever thought.
Thank you.
Wait till you get to know us.
Yeah, we blew up a whole city once.
He walks over to the three of you and starts whispering. What I don't understand is if Jenkins was also the killer of Lehman Kessler, how does he know about this item that I can't hear and apparently nobody seems to know about except the three of you?
Is he a member of the Bureau of Balance?
Is he you just stacked out on me, brother.
That's not for you.
Okay.
I'm asking my compatriots.
Well, could we use the
Oh, you know who we need? Push a button.
You're on a train underground. There's no response.
She can find us.
How's she gonna do that?
Magic, Griffin. How do dragons exist? Just make it happen, DM.
No, it does not happen. You guys are on your own. No Deus Ex Machina.
He's got to be a member of the Bureau. It's the only thing that makes sense.
Angus says, the really tricky part is how we're going to be able to get to Jenkins before we arrive in Neverwinter. He points at Graham. Graham, how long do we have until we arrive? And Graham pulls out a stopwatch from his pocket, or a pocket watch. Not a stop.
His juicy robe.
He reaches into his juicy robe and pulls out a pocket watch and pops it open and looks at it. And he says, about 25 minutes. And Angus says, we don't have very long.
About 25 minutes. Yeah, we just heard him.
Okay.
I would like to... May I cast Locate Object again?
Yeah.
I cast Locate Object again.
On the same rod?
Yep.
This time you get a ping towards the back of the train in the cargo car.
So it confirms. Yeah. I have a question for Boy Detective.
Yeah, shoot.
So the rule of you can't bring items back from the pleasure chamber.
Yeah.
What happens if we could successfully bring an item back?
You can't.
Would it disrupt the magic?
It wouldn't do anything to the magic. It just wouldn't go through.
How do we disrupt the magic?
Either by stopping the caster from channeling the spell or destroying the item that's channeling the spell.
Killing.
Well, but we got to get to him first.
Oh, yeah.
We do.
Wait. Are there windows on the crypt car?
There are no windows in the crypt car. There's only the caboose door.
Son of a bitch.
Is the wall punchable?
Are there windows on the car next to it?
There's a door before the dining car.
Yes, but you were saying there's a door at the back of the cargo car, and in the fake train, it's fused shut.
Right. I suspect that's because pleasure chambers can only have one entrance.
So if we were able to get around to that door from the outside of the car...
How sturdy are the walls of the train?
It's a train, so pretty sturdy.
Fairly sturdy, right? Okay.
I would say they're about in terms of sturdiness, they're about train level, which is to say
train level sturdy.
Pretty sturdy.
In a locomotive sense.
Let me put forth a theory I'm thinking about. What if we were to go back into the dining car, put I cast levitate on Magnus, put him out a window, and he goes and knocks out the side of the cargo car.
Or the door.
Or all the way to the back and come through the...
That's what I'm saying.
Or go through the back of the caboose. Either way, if I levitate him and put him out the back of the train, then he could get around to the back or the side, look for another way in.
And then he'd have to take down Jenkins on his own? That seems pretty dangerous.
Well, no, all he has to do really is distract Jenkins long enough to bring down the port. We have the far stone, right? So we can use the stone to keep in contact. And as soon as he brings the port down, we can go in and take Jenkins to Browntown.
Here's what we're going to do.
And here's the good news. The best news is there's no way he's going to use any spells on us. We know how finicky he is about conserving his slots.
Again, I have to stress this. I think his incompetence may have been a ruse. And if you try to step to him, you may get got.
Hey, Angus, you're the world's smartest kid. Have you ever heard of a man named Magic Brian?
You just staticked out for me.
Exactly. Let me make one addendum to your plan here, Taco.
Okay.
Cast levitate specifically on my magic jumping boots, so that way I'm not at the mercy of being levitated and moving around.
Oh, I love it. It's delectable. Let's do it.
Magnus is so on board with this plan.
Okay.
And that was Magnus speaking. That was not Travis speaking. That was Magnus speaking in third person.
Gotta get character voices.
Magnus is on board with this plan.
Just that don't sound like death and sadness mixed together in a pudding.
I think maybe Magnus has a Spanish accent.
Oh, God, no, he doesn't.
Oh, good. Good. Excellent.
And I think I've been doing it up to this point.
Yeah, it's been flawless.
Thank you.
Before we do this plan...
Wait, okay, how many spell slots do you have, Old Bean? You've already burned 2 on locate object. Have you not? What about your zones of truth?
That was last adventure.
No, man.
I think you might be. I think you are fresh out of magic, my dude.
You're magicked out. I'm sorry.
Plus, we've talked about this plan 8 ways to Sunday. Let's just do it.
Let's just get busy. Get busy living or get busy. You will die. You're gonna die. The next one. So I will see y'all then. You are all gathered around a table in the dining car, where Graham has unfurled a map of the train route, and he is.
I thought you were going to say of the train, and it was just a straight line.
And he has pointed out one part of the route, and he says,
"Shouldn't there be some really cool music playing in the background, like the Ocean's 11?"
I'm sure.
There's a brief gap between the teeth where we will have
they call it the Letterman gap.
He says, yes, it goes over. It's a suspended rail line over a lush basin, over it called Letterman's Basin, and at the speed that the train's moving now, you'll have about 90 seconds exposed.
Okay,
where we won't be inside the mountain, and that's going to be your best opportunity to get around. You'll have to move around 2 cars. You'll have to move around the dining car and get to the back of the cargo car if you want to pull this off. He says, "Are you sure you want to go solo on this journey?"
Yeah.
By any chance, is Magnus a Chinese acrobat?
Let me look. Let me look at my character sheet. Oh, look, says it right there. Chinese acrobat.
A Chinese acrobat with a perfect Spanish accent.
Sure enough.
He's the great...
All right, I'm ready to go. Via
the great American melting pot. Graham hands you a small bean.
Is it a magic bean?
Are you surprised? Graham says, when I heard you talking about your plan, I thought that maybe I could help out by alchemizing this delicious bean for you. If you pop this into your mouth, you'll become extremely heavy. So don't use it if you're on the side of the train, but if it looks like you're, something's bad about to happen, you're about to go flying off the train, if you take this, you might be able to sort of drop yourself back onto it. But just hold on to it.
Okay.
Graham, master of foreshadowing.
And he pops open the dining car door. And it's pitch black. You're still inside the mountain. Graham says, we'll be outside in 10 seconds. Do you have anything you want to say to your teammates? Any last words?
Don't touch my stuff.
I need to cast levitate. Your shit isn't levitating yet.
Okay.
Yeah. And I need to cast jack shit.
Yeah.
That's right, Magic
You're right.
Boy. Stop zone truthing everybody.
Have a little bit of faith in humanity.
Are you braced there, Mario? You ready to go?
Yes.
All right, boy who can fly. And you're levitating.
Okay. I was waiting for a sound effect.
Yeah, there is no sound effect for levitate. No, that's just whistling. I don't know. There is no sound effect for levitation. Everybody is the first thing you learn in wizard school.
Okay.
It's just doing weird 1940s Foley work for like a tornado or something.
Magnus, you are suddenly you have this weird sort of sensation. It takes you a while to sort of get used to staying upright with just your boots levitating and nothing else going. But you're kind of Marty McFly in Back to the Future Part 2.
Yes, I am, Griffin.
Just sort of hovering off the ground, just sort of waving your arms in the air to try and stay upright. And as you are figuring out this balancing act, all of you are blinded as the train exits the mountain, and you see a rickety sort of suspended rail bridge underneath you, and then about 150 feet below, you see a lush forested area. And Graham says, "Go!"
I get real caught up by the view and spend about 2 minutes looking at it.
Okay, you're back inside the mountain. You
Oh no! No, I go out the window.
Okay, you go. Well, it's a door.
I go out the door.
Okay, Graham clicks down a button on his pocket watch and yells, "Go!" So what are you doing? Explain to me what you're doing.
That's such a good question. Could you describe to me what I'm looking at first? This is in zero time. This is like bullet time.
Okay, you're in bullet time. There's two train cars that you have to get past: the dining car and the cargo car. Mm-hmm. That's what you are looking at. The dining car has a few small windows on it. That maybe you could use as hand grips.
Yeah.
But if you are looking for me to tell you how you are about to pull off this incredible acrobatic feat, that's not my job. I just created the situation.
Well, I have one risky idea. And that is good. I don't have to do anything but let go and then grab on again. Because the train's moving. Oh. It's just a matter of timing. That if I can grab, the back of the train, then I don't have to do shit. But that would require probably an immense dexterity roll.
Yeah. And if you fail this, I'll kill you. You will suffer.
You will not hesitate.
Listen, baby, risk and reward. If you do it, it'll be fucking rad. If you don't do it, you'll die, and you'll have to start a new character.
Can I retcon that I've tied my rope off to something in the car?
What have you tied it off to?
I don't know, one of the tables in the dining car?
Okay.
Well, we could hold the other end of the rope.
I don't trust you,
seems
fuckers.
like a lot of work. What if I get bored?
See?
All right, so you've tied a rope to what?
One of the tables in the dining car.
Okay, and you've secured it around your waist?
No, I'm just holding on to it. Like I'm rappelling down the side of the train. I'm going to slacken my grip a little bit to slide down the rope.
Okay, I see. So the rope is sort of like
it's like sideways repellent.
Like a streamer coming off the train, going behind it, and you are just sort of slowly scooching your way down it.
Correct.
Okay, so you are sideways rappelling down the length of the train. Moving down past the dining car, The cargo car that you are now next to is kind of almost perfectly smooth like a bullet.
Perfectly smooth like a butt.
You are successfully navigating the length of the train. And you make it past the cargo car to the caboose door. There's like a small platform at the back of the door with a small step going up to it off the back of the car. Mm-hmm. And standing on that platform is a giant brute of a monster.
Excellent.
Skinless, made of meat. He is gargantuan, sort of the Hulk size, but he has a very, very small hand, very small left hand, that smells very bad. A very, very stinky, small left hand. And you stop to admire him as you are sideways, rappelling down the side of the train. And as you say that, is that the conductor? This brutish monster rears back and punches you in the sternum.
Okay. Ow.
He rolls a 21.
Well, yeah, then.
This is not going to be good.
No, it's all right, yeah.
And he hits you for 16 points of damage. And
wow.
As he clocks you, you need to roll a dexterity saving throw to make sure you don't let go of the rope.
Well, I don't.
Would that
just trust me? I don't.
Wouldn't that be a strength roll?
That is. I rolled a 19.
A 19. Okay, so you do manage to stay holding on to the rope, but this punch sort of just like you're on a tire swing.
That's great.
Pushes you backwards.
Let me ask you this, Groovy.
Yeah.
How far are we away from re-entering the tunnel?
You can yell to Graham to try and get an
I
estimate.
can't see it.
You're about actually as you get swung away from the train, you see that you are about 1/3 of the way there.
Okay, so like second wise, could you estimate?
60 seconds.
Cool. Okay, well, so now I'm just kind of like flying off the train, right?
Yeah, you are no longer. Before, the rope was sort of flush with the train's wall, and you had sort of perfect control on it as you were rappelling down. Now you are just sort of holding on for dear life as this rope sort of swings around. You're no longer like level with the train. You're like a bit above it now.
Perfect.
I'm
gonna wait 59 seconds.
Okay.
Listen, because this is gonna be physics, and it's awesome. As we go into the tunnel and the rope starts to compress back against the train, just before it gets to me, I take the bean and basically become a wrecking ball and smash into the brute at the back of the train. Listen, don't give me the bean if you don't want me to use the bean.
Okay, so you are holding onto the rope with one hand.
Mm-hmm.
So you are flying above the train. You are waiting. You have waited 59 seconds. The train has started to move back into the tunnel. As the dining car moves into the train, it begins to pull the rope back in towards the train, and you pop this heaviness bean in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and from your position above the train, you get super duper heavy and begin to fall directly behind the train. The rope catches on the roof, and you are going to make a really cool acrobatics check if you're going to do this thing. Yeah. Because I should have just killed you on the side of a tunnel.
Sweet. 17. That's a 19.
19. Okay. You come down on this thing hard. You managed to get him with like your curled up knees, sort of Tony Jaa style. Which hits him for, we'll say, you came in pretty hard and you're really heavy, so we'll say 2d8 damage.
That's this one? That's 14.
You knock this meat monster with the hand of the engineer through the door. You see him collide with Jenkins, who is bent over on the floor, digging through items that he has apparently pulled off of the crypt safe, which is pulled out of the crypt safe, I should say, which has been popped open, and there you see another meat monster with another very small hand, with his hand firmly planted on the crypt safe.
Can I see Tree Splitter?
Rail Splitter.
Rail Splitter. I call him Tree Splitter. It's my pet name for him.
You do. You see it on the ground behind Jenkins, on the ground close to the front door. And through that front door, you can actually see your party in the dining car. Yeah, you knock this meat monster back into Jenkins, who is on the ground. He's holding a shitty metallic compass in his hand and sort of poring over all of the items on the ground. When this meat monster collides with him, he falls over. The silvery, the silver rod that he was using to channel the ports flies out of his grip. And Merle and Taco, you can see this scene now through the door of the cargo car. He looks up at you with a start, and he goes, "What the fuck?" And we're going to get into combat, but I'm going to give you a surprise round on him, since this was all very, very surprising.
I want to spit out the bean and jump across the room.
Okay.
So that way I can be on the same side as my party and Rail Splitter.
Okay. You spit out the bean, making you float again with your magic jumping boots. Position yourself against a wall and just like sort of...
Just be clear, like I spit it back in my hand. I didn't just like spit it out.
Yeah, because maybe you want to be heavy again at some point. You just sort of missile launch yourself across the room, and you're going to punch Jenkins, or what are you doing?
No, I just want to. Can I jump across the room, punch him, or just give him the finger as I fly by?
Okay, you fly by as you float effortlessly through the room over the meat monster. You flip him the bird, and now you're on the other end of the room. And that's going to do it for your surprise round. We need to roll initiative.
5. I rolled a 9.
13.
That's a good spread, guys. Now, Griffin, my question is, are Jess and Graham and Angus backing us up? And will you be playing 3 NPCs versus 3 NPCs?
Depends on how quickly you guys can all kill them.
Okay.
First in the order are the 2 meat monsters.
Cool.
Great.
And the first one is the one that you need in the chest, who stands up and trudges his way over to
now,
where...
Isn't standing up a move action, Griffin?
No. It takes half your move.
Oh.
Don't tell me the rules of Dungeons and Dragons, please. He stands up and trudges over to you and uses his big fist, not his little stinky fist, to just sort of overhead hammer strike you. And that's a 24.
Jesus. Yeah, no, that's a hit. It's a solid hit.
And that is 13 points of damage.
All right. I'm in a bad way.
And the other one takes his tiny hand off of the crypt safe, trudges towards you, and comes at you with sort of a chop from the side. Rolls a 19.
I mean, yeah, that hits.
That's 11 damage.
Okay. I'm down to 1.
Okay, that's it for the meat monsters. Next in the order is Merle.
Okay, so if he has one, I cannot cast Spare the Dying. That's a cantrip. Well, then I'm going to use my Warhammer on the...
Okay, so many things. You don't have the Warhammer. You're not in the room.
Yep, you're right. I will move forward into the car.
Okay.
And cast Sacred Flame on the wounded meat monster.
Okay. Yeah, go for it. Oh, I have to roll. He rolled an 11. It's against your spellcasting modifier, which is higher than that.
1d8 radiant damage.
Okay.
Oh, man, you know, I really wish that when I was getting punched a bunch, I remembered that I had a bunch of skills I could use to avoid taking damage. Oh, maybe next time.
Oh, punched a bunch. I like punched a bunch. Okay, so that's 5.
Okay.
Plus 1 for the holy symbol, right? For the Extreme Team Bible?
Yes. And you're going to do bonus damage, because these things are undead. Vulnerability to a damage type means damage of that type is doubled against it. So you blast this thing with radiant light.
What does that even mean?
You've destroyed it.
Okay, good. Good. Excellent.
Next,
Yay me! Win!
next in the order is Magnus.
Great.
You are standing in this room. You got one meat monster left. Jenkins has stood up and rolled poorly on his initiative, so he hasn't taken any actions. He says, How did you... How... It's going to take me a while to get back into Jenkins. I was so excited when he died that I wouldn't have to do him anymore.
And then he proved to be so popular.
I know. How could you have possibly seen through my perfect crime?
Because you're not a very good wizard.
I'm the best wizard.
You're a wiener.
I hate you all
You're
so.
a wiener, Jason.
I hate
More
you
like
all.
Winkins.
I hate you all so much.
I'm going to call you Wankins from now on.
My name is not Wankins.
Dinkins. How about Dinkins?
Dinkins is pretty good. What about Jerkins?
Dinkins.
How about Jerkins?
I'm going to kill everyone on this train, and then I'm going to bring you all back to life again, and then I'm going to kill you again.
More like Junkins.
This is
Yeah, but that would take another spell slot.
next in the order is Magnus.
I want to pick up Rail Splitter. How do I do that?
You do it.
Okay, I pick up Rail Splitter.
Okay.
But bend from the knees. Bend from the knees, not from the waist.
And I want to pop the bean back in my mouth.
Okay, you pop the bean back in your mouth. You're very heavy.
How close am I to the meat monster?
He's right up on you. He just punched you.
Great. I want to swing my axe at his head two-handed.
Okay.
That is 22. 22.
Okay.
And then
Yes, sufficient.
1d10 plus 6. This is a d10. That is a 10. 16 damage.
Okay, woof. He is bloodied.
And now I want to step backwards.
But you're heavy.
If you do that, you're going to take an opportunity attack.
Well, I don't want that.
No, who would? There's a big meat monster.
But if I don't get away from him, I'll die. No, I'll still step back.
Okay.
It is important to me to get away from him. I have 1 point of damage.
Okay, you're going to take an opportunity attack. Are you ready for the opportunity attack?
Let me brace myself.
Okay. 18.
Oh, man, it just hits.
Okay. It's going to be more than one.
Well,
That's a Garen goddamn T.
I think the real takeaway here is that this step back has betrayed a real lack of faith in my ability to kill that monster.
That's 10 points of damage.
Woof. Woof.
okay, hold on.
I guess when you fly solo, that happens sometimes.
Maybe you should have let your boy Taco.
Yeah, maybe having
Yeah,
a
that's
team
great
is
coming from a
not
cleric
that
who
bad.
expended all of his spell slots to heal me doing weird shit earlier.
Oh, well, you're the dead guy.
Here's a zone of truth. You're dead.
So I'm going to use parry, use reaction dice to reduce damage by the dice plus my dexterity.
Okay.
That is 8 plus my dexterity is 10.
Your dexterity's 10?
No, my dexterity is 2, but
Oh,
plus my dexterity is 10.
Okay, so do you get a counterattack?
No, not with parry. I only get that with riposte when it's missed.
Okay. He brings his meaty fist down on you, and you effortlessly, like the water, move around it. And now you can move.
Okay, I'm gonna get back with the rest of my party.
Okay, you're back there. Next in the order is Taco.
I'm gonna cast Ray of Frost. I know it's boring on the monster that's already taken some damage.
Okay. You're still outside of the train in the space between cars.
Okay, well I came within 30 feet of.
Okay, he was right by the door, so you can shoot him through it.
I'll just cast through it.
Okay.
22.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Nice.
Okay, and then it does 6 damage.
Okay, cool. He is very, very bad off. Next in the order is Jenkins, who surveys the scene. He drops this compass he was using and his silvery port rod thing, and he leverages his wand and points it at the meat monster. And he says, "Okay, I see I'm outnumbered and out-axed. I am a big enough man to admit defeat. So here is the deal I will make everybody on this train." He says, "This meat monster is equipped with one of Hudson's hands. I grew this monster out of Hudson's hand. And if he is destroyed, like the other one you just killed, then the hand will be lost, and we will have no way of getting back into the engine car to slow down the train before it arrives in Neverwinter in..." He looks at his pocket watch. Apparently everybody has those. He says, "in about 10 minutes. So everybody is going to back off and shut the door to this car, leave me to find my treasure, and we'll be able to stop this train in time. What do you say?"
Magnus turns to Taco and says, "Hey, do you think you could figure out that port wand thing?"
Absolutely not. Probably.
Okay, cool.
Probably.
Good enough for me. We don't need a hand.
Jenkins says, "No takers, huh?"
No thanks, Papa.
Go fuck yourself, Wankins.
Go yeah. What he said. But, like, imagine me saying it too, but angrier.
Like, simultaneously, like a Greek chorus.
He says, "Well, okay." And he points his wand at the meat monster, and a bolt of fiery flame shoots out of it. And he rolled a 2 and misses the meat monster by a country mile.
The worst.
And with that, it's back to the top of the order, which is the meat monster, which trudges over to Jenkins, picks him up by the throat, and throws him out of the open caboose door. And Jenkins rolls an 8 on his dexterity saving throw, and you don't see Jenkins anymore. He is gone. He has been deposited out of the back of the train. You hear him go, "Smell you later."
Then I guess I'll cast Sacred Flame again at the meat monster.
Okay.
Well, hold on. Wait a minute. Did we just lose the wand?
No, he set it down.
Okay. All right.
The meat monster rolls a 8, which is not good enough.
Yeah.
6.
6, so that's 12 damage. He is reduced to ash as well, and he floats out the back of the open car door.
Finally free to go to heaven.
Well, no, meat monsters don't go to heaven.
Wow, Griffin.
All meat monsters go to heaven.
That's my favorite Don Bluth movie. Meat monsters go to heaven.
That Burt Reynolds.
And Don Bluth is my
talent.
favorite Arrested Development character.
Let's stop there.
On that solid goof.
Hey everyone, it's Griffin just popping in one more time before the end of the episode to thank NatureBox one more time. NatureBox is where you can order hundreds of great tasting, healthy snacks. Go to naturebox.com/adventure to sign up for a free sampler box of great tasting, healthy snacks. Next episode's up on June 4th, so we'll see you then.
MaximumFun.org.
Comedy and culture. Artists.
Previously on the Adventure Zone. He takes this rod, he points it at the door frame, and it opens up to a greenhouse. It's the most gorgeous collection of plants that any of you have ever seen. Remember, don't leave anything behind, and you cannot take anything with you.
Except memories.
Jenkins killed the engineer, switched clothes with him,
and then burn up the body to prevent further investigation.
Jenkins, he's holding a shitty metallic compass in his hand and sort of poring over all of the items on the ground. This meat monster, if he is destroyed like the other one you just killed, then the hand will be lost, and we will have no way of getting back into the engine car to slow down the train before it arrives in Neverwinter.
Magnus turns to Taco and says, "Hey, do you think you could figure out that port wand thing?"
Absolutely not. Probably.
Okay, cool.
Probably.
The meat monster trudges over to Jenkins and throws him out of the open caboose door. Smell you later.
If our heroes can't stop this runaway train, then I'm going to have to find a new podcast to introduce. Is Serial hiring? It's the Adventure Zone!
Jess and Angus and Graham all barge into the cargo car where you have just destroyed these meat monsters, and one of the meat monsters just destroyed Jenkins. And Jess yells, "Let's get busy!" And her axe appears in her hand.
So she just appeared in the car?
Yeah, they all came into the car.
And that's my entire plan for how we stop the train. They missed it. I guess they missed it, but it's really good.
Can you start over from the beginning? Angus says.
Well, why don't you tell us your plan and how it competes with his?
Contrast and compare. They're bored. They don't want to hear my plan again.
Angus leans over to you, Taco, and says, "I think we should probably find that item you guys were looking for first, before anybody else can get their hands on it."
Okay.
That was just not for you. That was Taco. That was in Taco's ear. But I guess I'll whisper to you too. We should find that item.
I've been down and pick up the compass that he was using.
Okay.
And I will cast an arcane knowledge check to see how much I know about the thing.
Okay.
14.
Okay. Using your arcane knowledge, you pick up that this is not telling you sort of which direction you're facing. It is not a traditional compass. As you sort of move around with it around the room, though, the needle is moving, and it almost appears to be like a sort of a dowsing rod, if you will.
Right. Is there any do I get anything from the arcane knowledge check that I couldn't have put together with context clues? My own damn self.
No, you don't. And Angus says, "What is that? What do you got there?"
I think it's a compass, but not pointing motion. I thought I'd know more about it, but I don't. And it's trying. It's
what
like
is it?
On the
what is it
back
pointing?
is carved in Captain Jack Sparrow.
What is it pointing
it's a
towards?
Dowsing thing.
A dowsing rod. Interesting. What if the killer was the killer's victims were all extremely wealthy? What if that dowsing rod was able to point at like the most valuable thing? It would explain how we could find your object that nobody knew about. Because if it's as powerful as you say, I imagine it's incredibly valuable.
Well, that's a good point.
Why don't we examine the stuff in the... I almost did Taco.
What?
Why don't we examine the stuff in the crypt safe?
Yeah, like what do we see?
You see everybody's weapons that have been pulled out and placed on the floor. Merle, you can collect your warhammer if you want.
Thanks.
And your shield if you want it.
Say that you're
Magnus.
doing it.
I can just assume that you have re-equipped yourself with all of the objects in the room. And then there are some other sort of valuables laying around. There's a set of silverware, of fine silverware that has been splayed open, and some of the forks and knives are sort of laying all around the room. There is a briefcase that is locked up, laying on the floor. There's just sort of a bunch of valuable debris laying all around. It's a pretty big pile. It is all of the valuable cargo that everybody in the car was bringing with them. And you have this compass that seems to be sort of reacting to something in the room.
Could we not walk around the room and be able to use that to triangulate? Because if it keeps pointing to that most valuable item and we walk around the room, eventually won't it lead us right to the item?
Yeah, it sounds like good thinking. And I toss him the compass.
Okay, you toss Merle the compass.
Meanwhile, I'm keeping an eye on Jess and Graham and just kind of doing like nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see. Move it on back.
Keep moving.
Back. Nothing to see here.
Okay. Yeah, Merle. The compass seems to be pointing you at something on the left side of the cargo car. There's a few items scattered around there, and as you move around, it seems to be pointing to a certain location. And as you look down at basically where the compass zeroes out, it's sort of spinning. You are standing directly over a small monocle with a silvery trim around it and a long silver chain.
Because we do not know exactly what it is we were sent to recover.
Correct.
Right?
Oh. Also, be cautious. I notice him doing this. Be careful, because you remember the thrall that the previous item cast.
And the big-ass fire.
Yeah. This conversation probably sounds crazy to the people in
Probably.
the tray, right? Don't forget about
What is going on over there?
We are rewarding
here,
faithful listeners.
Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see. Moving along now. Moving along.
So yeah, you firmly believe that this monocle is at the very least, the most valuable item in the room.
Is it powerful?
I guess I should be the one to try to pick it up, right? Because I resisted the thrall before.
Yeah, sure. It's solid.
Are our bracers of no use
Yeah,
in this
can we,
instant?
like, scan it or shoot a laser out of them? Something.
I don't know how to tell you guys this.
Do we bring in kind of centrifuge?
These bracers are not fucking tricorders. You're not going to set these motherfuckers to stun. They have one thing that they do.
Remind me what that one thing is.
It summons the transport.
Cool.
If you do that now, you're just going to waste a glass ball. It's going to crash into a mountain because you're in a mountain.
Okay. So when I poked it earlier, I wasted a glass ball.
No, you didn't get any signal.
Okay. Well, you got to check. You got to
No
check
bars.
your carrier at that point.
Yeah, no bars.
Okay, I start reaching my hand towards it, but not touching. But just start reaching my hand towards it to see if I'm getting any vibes.
Okay, as you begin to reach your hand towards it, you get a vibe. The monocle starts to sort of shake and rattle on the floor, and you hear a voice in your mind saying, hey, buddy. Hey,
You want to see some DVD movies?
buddy? Hey, buddy, put me on.
I got all the latest releases.
I've got Jack and Jill 2 starring Adam Sandler. It's too hot for TV. Hey, buddy, put me on. I can make anything you can imagine turn real. Hey, buddy, come on.
Okay, I pick up the monocle.
Oh yeah, buddy, put me on. Put me on.
With the handle of my umbrella.
Okay, you scoop it up with the handle of your umbrella. You're still going to make a will saving throw, but that's such a good idea. I'll give you advantage on it. So make a wisdom saving throw. And you're going to contest this thing's wisdom.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
That's a 3. Yeah, you beat the shit out of the thrall. Okay, you have resisted the thrall of this monocle, and you hear him go, "Oh, come on, buddy. Oh, buddy, come on, buddy. Buddy, I can anything in the world, anything. What do you want? Just imagine it, and I can make it real, buddy."
Joke's on you. I can't think very good.
He has no imagination.
To tempt, my friend.
Okay, you have beaten the thrall of this thing. What are you going to do with it?
I'm going to throw it into my backpack, my satchel.
Okay.
Maybe wrap it up in something first.
No, No, toss it in loose into your. Toss this incredibly valuable, powerful item into your fucking JanSport. put it in the headphones chamber.
No, I can't. I don't want to touch it. So
okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so you lower the thing into the monocle into your bag and sort of unscoop it from your umbrella handle and close it up, and you have contained another relic.
Kudos all around.
Something weird happens. As you were holding your umbrella, it also seems to almost like a dowsing rod point towards the back of the chamber, right near the caboose door, and there you see the Jenkins wand. Not the port rod, but his wand he used for his magics. And the umbrella starts to almost pull you towards it. And
I eat the wand with my the Umbra staff.
Yeah, the Umbra staff deploys. It opens up like an umbrella, and then it sort of turns inside out like an umbrella in the rain, in the wind. And the wand flies into the mouth, basically, of your umbrella, which rattles and the sort of opens and closes like it's chewing it up. And then when it closes again, the wand is gone. And you look down, and your umbrella actually has a marking on the handle, like a sigil, that is actually in the shape of an umbrella on it. So your Umbra staff just ate the wand of this wizard that you have bested.
Great. And what happens to my rail splitter? Do I find something magical like that?
Your rail splitter disintegrates.
Oh, no.
No, it turned to ash.
Angus says, I'm really glad that everything's working out for you. A wand got eaten by another staff. It was really cool. And you did a thing with a monocle, and that's great. We
solved this one, guys.
But we're still hurtling towards our death.
But Graham, what are we looking at now? And Graham says, Graham looks at his pocket watch and he says, we've got about 7 minutes before we arrive at Neverwinter. And if we don't start slowing down now, it's going to be real bad.
No, you have more of like a hippie.
Yeah, you're right. Hold on. We've got about 7 minutes before we arrive in Neverwinter. If we don't slow down now, it's going to be really bad.
That's better. I think you have better motivation there, too. That was good.
I felt the energy from that.
Yeah, it was good.
It was good. Let's do one more just in case, just for coverage.
I have no voice. Please, let's just keep playing the game.
Okay, so
we got to find them. Yeah.
I pick up the port wand.
Okay.
And let's do an arcane check on. Well, I feel like I've already done an arcane check on the wand. Like, I know everything I'm going to know about the wand. I'm not going to learn anything else from an arcane check, right?
Yeah, certainly not in the next 7 minutes.
Okay.
Is there a button on it?
I focus on the engineer's room.
Okay.
And point it to... Well, hold on. Everybody out. And
okay.
As people are leaving, I kind of hang back, and I'm like, okay, now everybody face the forward of the train and really focus on the engineer, what the engineer's room looks like.
Are you using everybody else's imagination?
Yeah, I need everybody to go into the adjacent car and just turn towards the engineer's car and really focus on it, okay?
And then clap if you believe in fairies.
All right, is everybody done that?
Everybody moves in there. So you've moved everybody into the dining car.
Right.
You're still in the cargo car?
Right, and then everybody face towards the front of the train and really focus on it, okay?
Okay.
Okay? Now, while they're doing that, I scoop the remaining valuables into my bag.
Okay, you pick up a golden tiara. You pick up the silverware set. You pick up the briefcase.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay, keep focusing. You're doing great. I leave and I go into the adjacent car with them, and I focus on the engineer's room, and I cast the transportational magic on the door to the cargo.
Back to the cargo car?
Yeah.
Okay. You're gonna have to make some sort of check.
Yeah,
Nope.
right.
I didn't think you'd be able to pull that one
Didn't
off.
think so.
No.
Considering I don't even know the word for what I'm doing.
Expelliarmus!
And I do it.
Do a magic. I just did a magic.
And let me
there.
check my sheet here. Yeah, it says I have a +5 just doing it.
Let's just do a spellcasting modifier check. You're not casting a spell. You are sort of channeling the spell that is imbued in this rod, which explains how you're like capable of doing it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, why don't you go ahead and roll just an basic intellect check?
Oh, an intellect. Okay. 2. Okay, my first try fizzles.
Yeah. No, it doesn't fizzle, actually. You see a figure start to take shape through the cargo car door, and you can see into the engineer's car, but it kind of looks like a cartoon. Like, everything is, like, really squiggly.
Oh,
and,
like the AHA video.
Yeah, like the AHA video.
You have basically created the AHA video, but it's in the engineer's car.
Okay, I try again.
Okay.
Let me take another pass at this. This time for sure.
Okay, but before you cast your second spell, through the windows of the dining car, light starts to pour in as you have moved out of another mountain. And Graham says, "We're in the final stretch. We got about 4 minutes before we hit Neverwinter. You got to do something quick."
I got a 19.
Okay. This time you do it, and the rod, a silvery web of light shoots out and fills the door, and you can see with perfect clarity the engineer's car. It's kind of disorienting because you're facing backwards, but through the front windshield of the train, you see the train moving forwards. And yeah, you can see into the engineer's car.
Okay, let's go in there. We go in there.
We all go in there.
Okay.
We're in there.
Does
You're in
anybody
there.
listen? Does anybody know how to stop a train?
I have vehicle proficiency.
Graham says,
Of course you do.
Graham says, I've been training my entire life for this, so I could give it a shot.
Wait, you've been training your entire life for this?
To be a train engineer, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I remember in his backstory.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So you've done this in like video games before.
Yeah, basically. Well, dream vision fantasies.
Still don't want to acknowledge video games exist. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
No, tell me about these video games. We're going to collide with Neverwinter in about 3 minutes, but tell me about video games.
Should we?
Video James.
You know video James.
Ladies love cool
he says,
video games.
He says, everybody hold on tight. And he grabs the brake lever of the train.
I popped the bean in my mouth.
You pop the bean in your mouth. That thing's going to run out of magic pretty soon. You don't have an infinite heavy
bean.
Infinite heavy bean.
Griffin, he ain't heavy. He's your brother.
And he rears back full strength on the brake lever, and it doesn't move. And Graham says, "Oh, shit, hold on." And he tries it again.
Now, Griffin, just to clarify before we move forward, Graham's been training his whole life to pull a lever. There's not like an intricate button-pushing process. He doesn't need to know how to work the computer. He's been training his whole life to pull a lever.
As the brake refuses to move, Graham actually starts furiously punching buttons in the console and twisting knobs and moving other levers. And he looks over at a panel on the left side of the console and says, "Oh, God, no. Guys, this one is also locked to the engineer's handprint. Did anybody save one of those meat monster's hands?"
No.
We burned them up, pretty much.
Yeah, I thought they were disintegrated, is what you said.
Is it possible we can disconnect the locomotive from the rest of the train?
Yeah, but the locomotive's still going to hit Neverwinter, and it's going to cause a lot of damage.
Have you met us?
Some other D&D games problem.
Yeah. Let him fix it.
Wait a minute. You have safely brought the princess back to her chambers in Neverwinter after besting the 19 dragons of the Horrid Rim. And, oh, fuck, a train! Oh, my God, no, a train just ran in. Oh, God, no. Oh, Jesus.
We'd be safe.
I'm just living up my lifelong dream of reenacting the end of Silver Streak. That's all I've ever wanted.
Graham is punching in other buttons, and Angus is I'm too young to die. Oh, God, no, this is going to be terrible. What can we do? Graham says we're not going to be able to stop this train. We have to destroy it somehow.
Just give me a second to think.
I say we disconnect we blow up the locomotive and disconnect it, and we stay in the back part.
We have no like. I don't know that we have anything with that much power.
We need to access an area that has that much power.
Nothing can come through the door, though.
To port the locomotive to somewhere else.
Okay.
There's an entry gate into Neverwinter that you have to go through before you arrive at the platform.
Wait a minute. I got it. Okay. Listen. This is stupid. Are you ready to do something really stupid?
I'm willing to do anything. We have about 2.5 minutes.
Again, have you just met us?
I take the port wand and I go into the engineer's car. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And is there access to the roof or to the front of it somewhere where I can go stand?
Well, you wouldn't be able to because you are in the the port version of the engine car. So you can't leave it except through any way that you went out. Yeah. There are other ways out of the train, though. There's a door that you came through when you first boarded the train, right in front of the passenger car, which is right behind the engine car.
Okay, I'll go do that.
Okay.
And I just need to get outside.
Okay.
Okay.
You are... Okay, so you have popped open the door that you boarded the train through in front, between sort of the engine car and the passenger car, between the first and second cars in the train. Mm-hmm. And you have opened it and are hanging out.
Okay.
Where is everybody else? I'm assuming they've left the engine car? Because they'll be destroyed.
It's kind of up to them.
Well, we're not sure what he's thinking about. Are you thinking about creating a port and having the train go through it, but in the opposite direction?
What I'm thinking about is I'm going to use this wand to change the gate into Neverwinter into a gate to Phandalin. Because it's the only place I know of that's completely empty and made of glass.
Well, it would have to be a room with one entrance. But I like where your head's at a lot.
Open it to Jenkins' garden. Fuck that dude.
How big is Jenkins' garden?
Big enough for a train to crash into, probably.
How about Tom Bodette's house?
Tom Bodette, we're coming for you.
Can we get both of them?
We're gonna come for you. No, that's good. I've seen Jenkins' garden. I've watched him open the door. I know how to do it. I can change the gate at the last second into a door into Jenkins' garden.
Okay.
Cast levitate on all of us.
No, listen. We've got this. You just have to trust me.
No, wait a minute.
Well,
he's got a backpack full of stolen shit.
You don't know that?
Okay, done.
Listen.
Fuck it. You know what? I trust you, Taco. I lay my hand on his shoulder. I trust you.
Oh, excellent.
I lay my hand on his hip and say that's as high as I can reach.
And then you dip, he dip, we dip. These are all really great goofs, but we're going to hit the gate in 1 minute.
Be cool, Angus, for 1 second. This is a team-building moment.
What's the range of the port wand?
You have no way of knowing that.
Make us all lighter. Anchor so we're floating out the back.
Wait, what?
So tie it off to the crypt safe. We go out the back door so we're separate from the train.
But we don't. I don't have enough levitates to do that. I can't levitate all of us.
Then levitate an object.
You know what? Let's just jump. How about that? Why don't we?
Yeah.
Let's just jump off a moving train.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, this is not a suspended bridge.
Yeah, it's a stupid garden. I'll fall in some daffodils or something.
Okay.
So wait, you're going to wait until you're inside the garden to jump out?
No.
Cast the portal, jump out.
Jump off.
As you lean out, you are overlooking just sort of a plain type area with some other tracks running through it, sort of like a rail yard.
I'm not saying it wouldn't hurt.
I'm saying if you jumped out, you wouldn't fall 150 feet to your death.
Okay, great. How close are we to the gate, though?
I mean, you're 50 yards.
Perfect. Okay. Am I close enough that I could cast the spell, or do I need to wait longer?
I mean, you give it the old college try.
Oh, great. Okay. I'll wait until everybody jump. I'll wait until I'm at 25 yards.
Okay.
because I don't want to risk it.
Angus says, "Are you sure about this? It seems like it's going to hurt a lot, sir."
God, hit him.
I pushed Angus off the train. You're fine.
Oh, God. Oh, gosh.
He falls under the wheels. No. Tom Bodette style. You got Bodetted.
You throw this canary in the mine shaft off the train. You see him roll a good distance. And he sits up and gives you a thumbs up, but he's missing 2 teeth.
Great. Okay, everybody else, can everybody else hop off?
I jump, but I tuck and roll so as to incur no damage.
Acrobatics check.
I rolled a 45.
Nope. It's not a number.
But no, that's not good. I'm going to die.
You won't die. You won't die.
Won't I? I only have 1 hit point, Griffin.
I mean, that's not death.
I rolled a 12.
Okay, yeah, that's going to hurt. It's 2 hit points, which in any other circumstance I think would be a really good number to get. You see Magnus go off the train. He does not sit up and give a thumbs up. Next, who's jumping off?
I'm not jumping off yet. Let Jess and Juicy jump off.
Jess leaps off effortlessly. She actually jumps off and then manages to land on her feet running and just sort of stops moving. Perfect. Like a cat.
Why didn't I do that?
Because she's way cooler than you are. Way, way, way cooler. And just sort of way better at everything.
Fine.
Graham, once you're off, do you have any magics that could tend to his wounds?
I can give it a try.
Great. That's good enough for me. Bye.
Okay. Well, I just want to say I'm really proud of you.
Okay, good.
And I just want you to know that
I pushed him off the train too.
I just want you to know that I want to be like you someday. And he is now off the train. I think that's everyone.
Well, Merle and I are still...
Okay, yeah, you and Merle are still on the train.
All right, let's jump, because this looks... We're close. We're real close.
All right, you going to cast the thing?
I probably need to jump and cast it afterwards so I can keep my concentration.
Okay.
It's going to be really easy to concentrate when you're rolling across those railroad ties.
I mean, I'll hop up at the last second. It's going to be sweet.
That will be really cool.
Well, let me get an acrobat. What is it? What kind of, do I need to do an acrobatics check? Or
Nobody else
both of you are making acrobatics checks.
Okay. 16 plus 2. 18.
14 minus 1, 13. No, I leveled that at it's 0. It's just 14.
14, and what did you get, Taco?
18.
18? Okay, Merle takes a little bit of damage.
Ow.
5 damage. But Taco, you do not. You land almost as gracefully as Jess did, which is pretty impressive.
Great. And then I focus on Jenkins' garden, and I cast. I used the transport wand on the gate to never win.
Okay. Seconds before the train goes through the gate, you point the port wand at the gate and make a spellcasting check.
19 plus 5, 24.
24. Okay, you see in a flash the train platform of Neverwinter disappear, and in its place you see a lush garden. The train goes into it. You hear a cacophonous smash as the glass container of the greenhouse comes smashing down. You see greenery just sort of go flying, colliding with the back of the gate and just sort of stopping in midair and falling to the ground. And the train goes through, and as the container of the greenhouse is destroyed, the spell shuts off, and with a loud pop, the spell is interrupted, and the train has vanished.
Can I just say, you guys, way more successful than our last one. We didn't destroy a city or anything.
Except for the damn garden.
Yeah, the garden.
Fuck Wenken's garden. I don't care about that dude.
And everybody, I just remembered something terrible.
What's that?
We forgot to get the valuables off before we did that out of the safe.
And Merle and Magnus just kind of glare at Taco.
Oh no! Angus says, "Oh no! I was transporting my grandpa's favorite silverware. I was going to give it to him as a Death Day present."
Oh well.
He'll be happy you're alive, Angus. That's present enough.
No, he said specifically, "Bring me my Bring me my silverware. I'd like to see it one more time on my deathbed.
Well, maybe you'll get lucky and he'll be dead before you get there.
You can only hope.
Griffin, can you say something about how we solved your train mystery?
Oh, yeah, I mean, you actually did solve my murder puzzle. You have literally, for once, solved my puzzle of
murder.
You solved my train puzzle.
Yeah!
Yay!
Hey everyone, this is Griffin McElroy, your dungeon master and best friend. Thank you for listening to the Adventure Zone episode 16, which is the last part of our Murder on the Rockport Limited arc. I hope you enjoyed it. I really, really liked doing a mystery for my family, and I was really proud of them for solving it, and then killing some people along the way and making treasured memories and friendships also along the way. This week, the Adventure Zone is sponsored in part by NatureBox. NatureBox is where you go to get snacks that are all made with 0 artificial flavors, colors, or sweeteners, 0 grams trans fats, and no high fructose corn syrup. And so much better for you than all the other snack options out there. Beef jerky? No way. Get that out of your mouth. Spit that out. Put some NatureBox in there. Next time you're hungry, you can grab jalapeno white cheddar popcorn, pistachio power clusters, and Big Island pineapple. They got so many others, all super, super tasty. I'm a big NatureBox fan, and you will be too. If you go to naturebox.com/adventure, you go to that website, you can get a free trial box of their favorite snacks. So go do it and put these great snacks in your mouth and your body, and they'll make you very strong. They'll make you twice as strong as you are right now. The Adventure Zone is also supported again this week by Plaid Hat Games, who are the producers of fun and engaging board games like Dead of Winter, which is a psychological survivor game where players are forced to work together to survive, but there might be a betrayer in their midst. There probably is going to go ahead and be a betrayer up in their midst. They also make cool games like Mice and Mystics, which is like sort of a mini D&D role-playing game where you play as adorable mice and mystics. They're all really, really great. You can find all of them and more at plaidhatgames.com. We have some personal messages. If you want to send something into the ether for a loved one or for your small business, you can do that by going to MaximumFun.org/Jumbotron. This message is for Foley, and it's from Annie. And Annie says to Foley, "Little Bear, the last 8 years have been an amazing adventure. Thank you for marrying me, and here's to the rest of our lives together. I declare my love the best way I can, publicly, through a McElroy. Yes, yes, allow me to be your vessel. Allow your love to live through me and sustain me. I have taken your love." Thank you, Annie and Foley. Y'all sound perfect for each other. One more personal message here in the old mail sack, and it's for Lizzie Lincoln, and it's from Mateo Irvin. That is a dope name. Sorry, Lizzie, your name's dope too, but Mateo, come on. Dude sounds like he's channeling the most powerful spell. Mateo says to Lizzie, "Happy belated birthday. I am overjoyed to have you in my life. You are an amazing actress, a wonderful cook, and my best friend. You make me laugh more than anything in life, and seeing as how you first showed me the Adventure Zone, that makes you responsible for about 98% of my happiness. I can't wait to listen to this episode with you. I love you." Oh my gosh. So much love in this episode. I'm drowning in it. I'm drowning in y'all's love. Happy belated birthday, Lizzie, and happy cool name, Mateo. If you haven't listened to the other shows on the Maximum Fun Network, I guarantee you're going to find something on there that you like in addition to the Adventure Zone. All of us have other podcasts. Justin and Travis and I do a show called My Brother and Me, where we give out advice. Justin does a show with his wife, Sydney, called Sawbones, where they talk about medical history. Travis has a show with his buddy, Andy, called Bunker Buddies. Travis has the chaos of this scene eventually, like a wizard.
Will potions work on him if he's
from Seattle, and bit.ly/van MBMBAM. The Portland show is sold out, but you can always drive up to Seattle if you want to come see us. There's lots of tickets available for that show. Okay, that's it for the sales portion of this episode. Like I said, this is the last part of the Murder on the Rockport Limited arc. So the next episode will probably be like an interlude where we do a little bit of character management, some shopping, some hanging out on the moon, before we jump into the next campaign chapter. Thank you all so much for listening and for sharing the show. When we start the new arc, we'll have new characters, and we name those after people who tweet about the show using the Zonecast hashtag. So tweet using hashtag the Zonecast, and you might end up as a character in the next campaign chapter. Oh, and also, if you have a second, if you can go write a review and leave a rating for us on iTunes, that really, really helps us out a lot. Thank you all so much to the people who have already done that. It's been overwhelmingly positive, and we love you so much. Okay, that's it. Let's get back to the episode. The next episode will go up, God willing, and the creek don't rise, on June 18th. So we will see you then. Is somebody going to keep Magnus from dying?
That would be great.
I asked Graham to check on him.
Don't we have healing potions?
Graham runs over to him and says, yeah, this guy's like dying and I don't have any healing. I'm like a wizard.
Will potions work on him if he's past that
Yeah,
point?
sure. Okay.
Well, what's your stabilized patient thing do, Dad?
Oh, yeah. Can't you use that?
Yeah, you've been trying to use it all day.
Yeah, I can use it. Well, I mean, what kept me from doing it before?
Oh, I wasn't
nobody
actually
was dead.
Yeah.
He hadn't jumped out of a train bad yet.
2 points of damage isn't that bad. I would challenge anyone to jump out of a train, and that's like stubbing a toe. But that had just happened to be enough that I died of toe stubbage.
Okay, spare the dying. You touch a living creature that has 0 hit points, the creature becomes stable.
Okay. You run back towards Magnus and touch him lovingly upon the hip.
Can I do the brush and the lock of hair off his forehead thing?
Yes, you may.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, you do that, and he is stable, which means he's basically at 0 hit points, and he's not going to die. But he does need to get some HPs back. So a healing potion would probably go down real smooth right now.
Well, isn't there probably an inn or something in that we could just walk?
Yeah,
to?
Let's
Let's just walk.
Okay.
Wouldn't that be better?
Well, we could carry him.
Yeah, let's carry him.
Okay.
I'm very light.
I like that.
I've got levitating boots.
He's got levitating boots. Let's just carry him.
Yeah.
Okay, so you put an arm around each of your guys' shoulders and carry him back in to the train platform. You've got Angus and Jess and Graham in tow. A little battered, a little bruised. Not Jess, because she did a great job.
Well, she's the best.
She's just super, super good at fighting and acrobatics and stuff. But yeah, you walk into the station, and standing on the platform are a bunch of very well-dressed people with luggage who are just looking at you, mouth agape, because they just watched a fucking train disappear. And the authorities run up, the Neverwinter militia run up, and Angus produces a small badge from inside his jacket and goes, "It's okay, they're with me." And goes and starts to talk to them. And the chaos of this scene eventually subsides a little bit, and you are inside the platform. Jess turns to you and goes, well, that was weird. There's a lot of static talk. Train disappeared. A lot of really weird stuff just happened, but I gotta say, that was pretty exciting. I thought this was gonna be a pretty boring hype tour, but you guys sure livened it up. So if you ever want to come to one of my matches, I can get you in for free. On the house, just say the word.
Quick question, Jess.
Yeah.
Is that soulbound axe thing something you can teach me?
No, you gotta find it, you gotta love it, you gotta nurture it. It's a relationship.
Will you give it to him?
I can't.
I
thought that was going to be the next question. Yeah, okay.
No, we tried that like 2 episodes ago.
The problem is that it's probably going to be way too heavy for him to even hold. So,
well, you know what, Jess? Thanks so much. We'll see you later.
It was super nice to meet you guys, though.
You can piss right off.
Jess, could I ask you one favor?
Yeah, hit me.
When you tell people the story of what happened, and they asked if I said anything cool when Jenkins got knocked off the train, can you tell them I smiled and said, huh, no ticket?
Oh, that's good.
That's good, right? Tell them I said that. When you tell the story, okay?
And this technically came out before Indiana Jones in like the timeline of this fantasy history.
So I guess I made that up.
Yeah.
I invented that. Tell them I invented that. If you go past like a trademark place
Just have them trademark your dope catchphrase.
That catchphrase. Yeah.
Are we in, is Neverwinter in a world that exists like thousands of years before Indiana Jones? Like, are we in the past? Are there dinosaurs?
It's
or
up to
are we
you,
in the
man.
future?
Yeah, Jess takes off, and Graham walks up to you guys and says, "I've got to go write a report. This is going to be how I get my job for the Rockport Express. I'm going to tell them everything that happened, and I think this might be a way to get my foot in the door."
One suggestion, Graham: don't bring up the whole destroying an entire train.
Right, you may want to edit the story.
Yeah, you don't want to include that in your dissertation.
I'll leave that part out. I'll say that you guys, using your wits, you guys are so great, managed to slow the train down. And they're probably going to see past that because there's no train. Like there's just no train anymore.
Yeah.
There used to be where there once was a train, there is now no train, is what I'm saying.
Right, exactly.
Anyway, super cool to meet you guys. Can I get like your contact information? Because I
hug Graham and whisper in his ear, "Let us be as two ships passing."
I guess you're right. I guess the best friendships that you make in this world are the ones that just come to an end.
We'll always remember you till 3 episodes from now when we can't remember anything but Juicy Wizard.
That's fine. That's my name.
And we'll always have Letterman's Gap.
Do you guys know, by the way, the story of why my robes say juicy on the butt?
Time to go.
No.
It was a great story, but I guess you'll never know.
Tell it to the bees.
What? Tell it to the bees?
Tell it to the bees.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go find some bees. Later, guys.
Hey, check me on LinkedIn. I'll endorse you for train stuff. If you endorse me for magic stuff. All right, bye.
That sounds very equitable. Bye. And he walks off into the crowd. And Angus walks away from the militia who have started to disperse off the platform, and he walks up to you and says, "I gotta say, you guys, I'm really proud of you. This was one of the toughest mysteries that I've ever solved by myself." And
wait, hold on. I would say we solved this one together.
Of course, yeah. No, it was a joint effort.
I'd say we solved it alone without you.
Well, that seems mean. I'm trying to do a heartfelt goodbye speech.
But this is the moment. This is the moment when they carry Jenkins's body by on a gurney, and he pops up from under a sheet. Is that?
And then fucking Reginald Vell Johnson shoots him.
And then Reginald Vell Johnson's like, "No ticket." We're like, that doesn't make it. First off, that's a trademark violation. Second, it doesn't even make any sense.
But it is nice to know that Reginald Vell Johnson has learned to kill again.
Right.
And it's nice that he's a fan of the show, apparently.
Yeah.
Angus looks at you and goes, "I shot a kid." That's the best. That's the best line reading of anything in the world. But I know we're going completely off the rails right now. But "I shot a kid" is the best any line has ever been delivered in the world. Angus says,
his name was Urkel. That dude.
Angus says, "I want you guys to have something because I was going to take it back to the station because it shouldn't fall into unsafe hands. But you guys seem like you'll be able to take care of it, and maybe you'll get a lot of use out of it." And he pulls out the rusted compass out of his pocket. And,
I take it.
Okay, and he hands it to Merle. And Merle, you pop it open, and it seems to be pointing toward Taco's bag, which is weird, but you don't.
Oh, okay. I have the monocle in there.
Oh,
quick OOC moment. How good was the OC? We're walking away from this with the monocle, the compass, and the port wine, right? Port wine. The port wand.
Yes.
Aha.
Oh shit! We forgot to get Pringles for our roommate.
Yeah, no.
Well, we haven't left yet.
Yeah,
is there like a newsstand on the train station or something where I can pick up like that? And maybe it's like
Angus says, "And I have one other gift for you." And he retrieves. It's a miniature. It's like one of those snack size canisters, and it's sour cream and onion, which is not the best kind of Pringle. No. But he says they're yours. They're yours if you want them. I was going to have them as a train time snack, but I forgot to eat them in the train times.
And I have something for you. I managed to get one piece of the treasure out of the crypt, and it's.
Well, you got my grandpa's silverware. You got the whole set.
Sadly, I was only able to preserve a few pieces of it, but something's better than nothing, I guess.
And I hand him 3 forks.
Thanks. I was really, you got me really excited that you rescued the whole set. Because honestly, I think if I just showed these 3 forks to my grandpa, he's just going to get angry.
Listen, kid, I'm not a magic worker, okay?
Wait.
Well, I am, but technically speaking, I am in fact a magic worker, but I'm busy.
He says,
hey, I'm still dying.
Yeah, that's true. He says, if you guys ever run into any mysteries that you can't solve, just drop me a line, and I'll be there in a flash. And he hands you a card that just says Angus McDonald on it. But there's no phone number or anything because phones don't exist. So it's not the best business card, but he gives it to you anyway.
We'll use the port wand to find him.
I can find him on LinkedIn. Just do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Chain LinkedIn.
Oh, I get it.
That was good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, you stopped by the Neverwinter Clinic, I'm guessing, to keep your
to get the bumps on our genitals checked out.
This guy's almost dead, and you guys all have syphilis. What happened? How could this be? And yeah, you've that's all of the content that I've created. So what do you want to do now? Let's just fucking freestyle.
Well, we got 15 minutes. I actually had a suggestion that I wanted to suggest to you guys before we go too much further. I think it would be worth. We have 15 minutes. I think it would be really a good use of our time to develop some character voices, because I think that this nonsense of saying I'm saying this in character, I'm not saying in character, I think it's getting confusing. For me, it's very easy to tell because I have a distinction.
Do you think? Okay, what about this for Matt?
But a few requests. Don't make them so terrible and unlistenable. No Scottish, no Spanish accents, no Scottish accents.
This is my suggestion for Magnus.
Just tweak it.
Magnus talk like this.
All right, Dad and I'll listen and just kind of like see what we see.
Okay.
How it grabs us.
Let's rush into adventure.
See, I like that.
Yeah.
It's simple. It's gruff. It's just a slightly
I think
modified.
that what we should do.
Well, you're getting
No,
now
what
you're
we
going all
should,
Sean
here's what we
Connery.
should do.
Sean Connery.
Yes.
This is okay. I'm just gonna stick with this. This is
gruff,
Magnus's
gruff.
voice.
See, it's fucking hard, isn't it? Doing one voice. Try doing 8, and they're all on the same train.
Yeah, I've done it for 40 years. So go ahead.
Well, this is next time you can DM, and all the NPCs will be Ducky Crabtree or something.
Dad, I think that Merle should sound like Ducky Crabtree. Could you do a little Ducky for us now?
Ducky Crabtree is our dad's famous radio personality that he created.
One of many. Don't forget, like Spud Rimshot.
Spud Rimshot, yeah. But for me, I'm a Ducky Crabtree man.
Well, okay. Everybody's got their own.
Gosh, really, Ducky as the. Okay.
Do it, coward.
All right, I will.
How long has it been since you've dusted off old Ducky, pulled him off the shelf?
It's been a long time. About
Maybe
2.5 years, I guess.
All right, let's hear him.
Okay.
What do you mean I can't cast Sanctuary? What do you mean I'm out of spell slots?
I think that might
Pretty
be
good.
a little bit
That's pretty good
distracting.
because it's also things that you would do, which is try to cast spells when you can't.
Well, that was my ironic joke there.
It was good. Let's keep workshopping Merle
All right.
because that's gonna be rough to listen to a lot of.
Yeah.
Ducky Crabtree is good in
Now,
short.
are we set on Magnus on that kind of deep and gruff?
Is that because that's what you wanted from Merle?
Well, I was thinking if Merle were short.
Well, why don't you lean into sort of like your pan roots? You know what I mean? Like some of your more nature.
I gotta say, you just destroyed a beautiful garden, and that seems like a non-crunchy thing.
Oh,
to
it
do.
hurt.
Yeah,
It hurt.
maybe something in that crunchy range. Is there something in that sort of like granola hippie place that you could go?
Let's see.
You know what I'm picturing? I'm picturing if Danny DeVito were like a devout, crunchy dude.
And he might be.
He may be. I don't know him that well
Devout
personally.
and crunchy. So, so maybe if it was a little more natural, maybe a little
Let's
husky.
Gary. I want you to take the Gary Sinise knob, and I want you to turn it to fucking 0.
Yeah, but that's close. I like that direction.
Yeah, I like the direction too.
All right, so a little raspy. Maybe raspy? That would hurt. I don't know if I could. Okay. Yeah, maybe that would work. That goes away
There we go.
from
There we go.
Magnus.
There we go.
Yeah,
I
It's
really
almost a
think
Clint
that's it.
Eastwood feel.
yeah, like in a feat
Yeah.
Sam Elliott.
Oh, okay, maybe even a little lower. Where are you going with that?
Yeah.
What do you want it up a
Don't
little
get
higher?
too
Do you
gruff, or you're getting into Magnus territory.
Yeah, and you're getting into a weirdly
So
sexual.
let's go with
territory.
raspy and high
Yeah.
And kind of an earthy, yeah.
I want you to say,
Bob
have you
Ross
heard the
vibe.
good news about Pan?
Have you heard the good news about Pan today?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Let me open
I
up
think you got
this Teen Extreme Bible and read a few
What
passages.
I like is that you've got a good combination of like crunchy granola and also kind of creepy youth minister.
Do you guys want to see some really realistic
there you
unicorn
go.
paintings?
Hey, that almost sounds like a late FM disc jockey,
Check
too.
out the side of my van.
All right, we got Peter Cetera now coming
Definitely
kids like
in your
Beto
core
honey?
competence. Nobody likes Beto honey. Are you? So anybody want to go back to the moon?
Oh yeah, let's activate our bracers.
What's the response time on calling the crystal balls?
About
Depends on
10 minutes.
Depends on how far away you are from the headquarters.
All right, and it really doesn't make any sense for us to go shopping in town because there's nothing we're not going to be able to find.
Oh, baby, Fantasy Costco's got everything.
Yeah.
And in bulk.
Let's listen. I think the most important thing we can do is get these Pringles back to our roommate. Pringles? Was that his name? I don't remember.
Actually,
Apple
don't you
the
think
app.
we ought to heal up poor Magnus first?
No, we went to the clinic.
We went to the clinic, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Sexually transmitted
Oh, I thought
diseases.
that was that kind of clinic.
No.
It was both.
It's all kinds.
Unfortunately, you owe the clinic 15,000 gold pieces.
Time to go.
Good luck collecting that, suckers.
Okay. You're gonna have to find a safe spot. I'm guessing maybe you want to head out of town so that nobody sees your
Balls.
balls.
Yeah, we do that.
Okay.
That thing you just said.
All right. Yeah, you are able to summon a ball from the southeast over the mountains. You see one of these crystal spheres shoot down and is rocketing towards you in the plains just outside of the Neverwinter city limits. It slows down very slightly before it hits the ground.
Oh,
but
I forgot
still-
to ask, what band is on this episode of Neverwinter City Limits?
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
It's what's a funny band?
Bananarama?
It's more Stay in the Time. So you may not want to leave. You may want to catch the time. This sphere collides with the ground, leaves a little skid mark on entry, and the door pops open.
We get in.
Let's get in.
Okay. You are floating back toward the moon, back over the mountains. You can see the teeth below you. You see the Letterman's Basin below you. It's another beautiful scene. You're floating up. It's midday as you're moving up over the clouds. And as you penetrate the cloud layer,
The credits start to roll.
the credits start to roll. A soft accordion music is playing. You see the moon above you, getting closer, much closer, and then a small hole opens up in it, and you fly up into the moon, and are received in the launch room by what's his name? Avi. You're received by Avi. It says, "Hey guys, how'd it go?"
Well, hold on. Avi's great and all, but we did just collect another article. I thought maybe we'd get some kind of hero's welcome. Like end of End of New Hope.
Nope, nothing like that.
Okay.
Griffin, I
says,
want to know something. Do you have a wall like the homicide detectives, with it's just covered with pictures of all these people?